Sweet. Also, yeah, so let me make sure it's up.
Still says offline for me.
It probably takes about 30 to 45 seconds to really get.
Oh, there it goes.
Yep.
Something's happening.
Anyway, the boon I am going to ask for the boon this time around is going to be for the survivors of Braymore to be treated as something more than refugees and to legitimately be taken care of.
Okay. We'll play that out when we get to it.
Yep.
Should I get a mithril shield?
Was that a +1? Still a +1, right?
Hell if I know.
Mithril shield's only +1 to AC.
Also, is with my current shield. I just want something lighter.
Oh yeah, you have to like worry about carrying shit and shit. Huh? That's that's cute.
Oh, also, I'm willing to give a hero point to anybody who can improve upon this overlay that I made. I'm really not all that good with Photoshop.
Again, let's all apply skills that Kane doesn't have.
Hey, I did this and I don't even have any skills, so...
Right.
Does it count if I delegate to Moses to do it and he does it, but I
No.
don't do it till
No,
I
it's
get the
not.
hero point?
No.
I would prefer you do something of your own accord.
Eh,
I mean, you can write a story, Leah. It wouldn't be too hard.
eh. I was like,
You
what?
don't
That's
have
what
to.
I'm
I'm not saying anybody has to. It's just for a bonus. Nothing will change. Your characters will not be punished if you don't. It's just a small little bonus if you guys do this, because these are things that I would like, but I have no skill with doing.
I don't like this observer fellow. Sounds untrustworthy.
Probably is. When was the last time you met somebody named Observer?
Well, there was that one time. I'm actually one of them. You know, I observed somebody today.
I am the Observer.
I am. Like I am. That's technically
Observer.
my title. I observed a teacher to determine whether or not they're going to get fired. That one time.
Are they gonna get fired?
Nice.
Yes, they fucking suck.
Awesome.
I've had a full day.
Telling people they suck.
I observed a teacher, wrote up a whole little thingy about why they suck. Then we went and lifted weights with my my off-season kids, and for wrestling. And then they're like, we don't want to lift. Can we go home early? I said, here's what we'll do. And they said, choose your best kid, and they chose the best kid. And I said, if you can beat me to 100 sit-ups, we leave now. If you lose, you run another 2 miles. They lost. Because beneath this flabby exterior lies iron. But honestly, I had to I couldn't actually start crying until I got in the car. I didn't want to see me.
Leanne must be a dwarf to dig that deep to find the gold.
That's funny. Anyway, yeah, I'm in pain. But
at least you looked badass, so you got that going for you.
I look like a fucking monster. And they'll never know. I'll be okay tomorrow. Just don't make me laugh too hard. It's about that time. We can start it soon. Getting excited. Today's going to be RP heavy. It's going to be a whole lot of not getting stabbed today.
Why can't we just start now?
Because I'm still working on stuff.
You have 3 minutes, Jake. 3 minutes.
More than I need.
I feel like every time she threatens you, you should, kill her.
You are God in this scenario.
An arrow falls out of the sky and just hits her. Take 8 points of damage. Yeah. Gotcha.
How many 8 points worth of damage?
1d8.
That's not gonna kill me.
It will if it happens 34 times.
Keep it up. We'll see.
It's just a rain of arrows out of nowhere.
I'll be dead before the session's over. I'm threatening people all the time. That's just what I do.
Yeah. Just know.
Okay, so because we got 2 minutes, I actually want to totally derail y'all's conversation and say that this anime thing is probably going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
God, Jake, we're trying
Yeah.
to talk about Pathfinder.
I'm excited about that.
I don't know. I really want to do. I kind of want to do the class president or student council president kind of thing.
I
Ooh,
would
you should
totally
definitely do
say.
student council because Moses' asshole character is also trying to be student council president, and you guys should totally
Yeah, that's
He
what
could be
I was
the class
thinking.
representative.
Yeah, be class rep.
no be class president. Moses is trying to like overthrow you.
I know. That's what I kind of want. That would be an interesting dynamic. And he's like the super rich kid, and I would be from a super poor family that's had to fight my way up every battle.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it'll be a good dynamic. But
Do it.
we'll
Yeah,
see.
me and Steven have a really,
I
really
don't
funny.
respect you.
Steven and I have a really hilarious kind of gimmick because,
That involves seducing Kane's character.
yeah, who's
Yeah.
the ultimate beta male. Because originally the idea for his character was that he was going to be the harem main character.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna play the harem male,
Yeah, just super beta harem male.
and I'm still playing super beta harem male.
Yeah.
He's just the demon king. He's not actually a demon king. They just made that name up so he would be more threatening in the shadows.
Test. Okay, my microphone's not too loud for you guys, is it?
Are you straight?
No.
Okay, good.
You straight? Let's do this. So he would be more threatening in the shadows. Rawr.
Test. Okay, my microphone's not too loud for you guys, is it?
Are you-
Alright, cool.
There's
There we go.
no other item that I want.
Check that. Alright. See. Jethro Air ability score 21.
51. Yep. That's where I put my point. I also got 21, what you call it?
Right, so you can put a point into.
Yeah, level 4 you put a point into one skill.
Yeah, which you already, or one
Oh, yeah.
attribute, which you already did, Terry. It put
Yeah.
you from 17 to 18 willpower, I think. Whatever your, whatever the.
Oh yeah, that's right. Wisdom.
Yeah.
The
I picked up a shield of swings because I realized that granted me more AC than a shield.
I have piss poor AC. I have piss poor
Yeah.
defense.
I get +2 AC if I have a shield. Shield of swings gives me +4 AC
Okay.
at the cost of half of my damage. But I did the math and realized half of my current damage is actually more than full damage with a one-handed weapon.
Just so you know.
Dang.
I actually like my average damage now is 24.
Numbers on them. I don't have any sticky notes. Yes, I do. That's a lie.
24, Jake. Measured response hits for 24 now.
Numbers represent how many days till my birthday. Letting you know ahead of time, so you don't forget my birthday.
Katya only has 18 hit points? Currently. Okay, 33 total.
30 total.
Okay.
Currently, I'm fine. I've actually got all I'm back. I didn't get hit that much last time.
I get hit by all of the rocks and shit.
Yeah, Cedric's pretty beat up, too.
I didn't hear that there was a long rest, so I didn't put
Well-
it back.
There was a long rest at, whatever, Ivor said, yeah.
It's
Oh.
difficult to intimidate rocks.
You didn't, Moses. You're an awful person.
I'm sorry Moses didn't take care of your character for you.
He didn't. He's awful.
I know, right?
How dare you?
Katya played the whole character. Nothing
Alright.
happened outside of when Leah was controlling it, so the blame is her own if anything is wrong.
Nope.
I don't think there is anything wrong, though.
Right?
No, I just didn't fix my hit points.
Okay, so let us get underway. I'm actually...
I just rolled a d8.
Good point. Good thing I checked that. Okay, there we go.
You know how that works.
Sweet! So,
Twice my level. So I get 10 hit points back, or were we still at 4? Okay. Cool. Gracias, senor.
alright, so we left off...
Zoom out!
Alright,
Shaky puppy. Shaky puppy, it's thundering. It's okay. It's thundering, though.
alrighty, so we left off at... You guys watched them all have you guys kind of got summoned to their war room while they're having a bit of a strategy meeting. You guys all kind of heard There are different options, and then Havens, kind of in conclusion to most things where he dismissed you, told everybody who had the three different ideas of how to approach this situation. Yama with subverting them and trying to turn them against each other. Havens himself had the idea of a longer, protracted guerrilla war, and Okemos, of course, was up front and center with the idea that a very quick campaign was best for the valley and wanted to lure the ogres into meeting him on the open field to crush them all at once. Havens, seeing that the conversation wasn't really going anywhere and having a bunch of other things to deal with, realized that no campaign is going to be undertaken until he's at least consolidated all of his holders and done a drive for any form of volunteers or militia. You guys know that it would just be natural for him to announce this at the next market day, which is in 8 days.
8 days is a long time.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys, he also kind of mentioned to anyone interested in assisting to seek out the person who's championing a different cause, speak to them, and see about helping flesh out any kind of plan. They'll reconvene to discuss what the ultimate campaign strategy might be. At that, he kind of turns, thanks to you guys once again, dismisses you all, and he's gathering his things. His aides are gathering his things. Okemos and Yama both grab whatever small effects they came in with and start departing from the room. If there's anything else you guys want to do at this time, feel free to catch them. Otherwise, they're just going to go back and go about whatever other business they have at this time at night. It's about 8 o'clock at night.
I'll catch up to Yama.
Okay. So before Yama even makes it out of the room, you stride over to him, and he regards you. You can definitely tell that in the way that his body language towards you, it's nothing verbal, but his body language towards you is that of a little bit more respect and consideration. It's almost the same as how he holds himself whenever he's talking to, say, Master Sergeant Tolles or the one of the ladies who runs the infirmary. Someone that he kind of as a bit of a rapport with him. So everybody can kind of see that his nonverbal stance is a little bit more respectable towards you guys. But he doesn't actually say anything. He's just kind of tilt his head back and do kind of like the Snape, where he just kind of regards you, like, what are you doing here? But he's not actually going to say anything.
I'll ask him how has his recovery gone.
He's gonna say just with flat dread in the very Alan Rickman voice, just painful. I don't know what was worse, the porridge or the poison. I suppose if one wasn't going to kill me, the other might have.
It's because you didn't get the brown sugar flavor.
I'll nod. I'll say that's some pretty nasty stuff, but and I'll say, but you mentioned subversion. What exactly did you have in mind?
Somewhat.
Subversion?
I thought you said
His plan.
some version, and I was like,
Oh,
some
sorry.
version of what? Yeah, subversion. He's gonna say, yes, ogres are not the most particularly astute or educated of individuals, and even around here, that's saying saying quite a lot. He's gonna say, I believe the way with least logistical and collateral loss in terms of material and life would be to launch a campaign of subversion. It doesn't necessarily play into the strength of those who are sworn to protect our city, but done right, it has the opportunity to leave them infighting amongst each other while we just mop up the remains.
I'll actually ask and say, you have any plans thus far? And I'm actually going to give him a rundown of what I saw as I kind of walk with him to his study, kind of.
Yeah, Yama doesn't break stride. You guys, if you want to talk to him, are have to keep up with him.
Yeah. I'm walking with him.
Okay. Everybody else, I imagine you're heading with them, or...
Nope, just me and him, I guess.
Okay, so
Moses
Jethro...
said Moses is going. His mic was off.
Sorry.
Okay, so Jethro and Whiston are heading. I suppose Cedric would follow at a very, very, very far distance. And he's saying, like, whenever you guys leave he's, mid-stride, hits the courtyard, the interior courtyard of the castle, and he's actually going to kind of look around, make sure it's only the aides around and no, like, nurses or maids or anything like that. And he's going to say, without breaking stride, yes, I have not been able to particularly gather a large amount of intelligence due to some form of interference.
And I'll mention that they're organized and that the magic hammer thing, and I'm just going to give him a complete rundown.
He's going
And
to...
I'll even briefly mention primal magic rock monster thing, but not all the. I'll kind of skip over certain parts of it. The parts that would upset him.
Yeah, he's going to obviously at this point it's taken you about 10 minutes to explain everything. You're up in his study, the alchemy lab really, and he's kind of sitting there. He hasn't offered you guys anything to like sit down, no glasses of water, nothing. It's him and you guys, it's him, and there is a open window, and sitting on the window is just some local wildlife. It's a songbird, just hanging out on the window.
That's racist.
Upon seeing that, and I'll kind of like, is that safe?
I beg pardon?
And I'm like, I've dealt with a whole lot of crazy magic shit recently. Is that thing listening in?
Well, of course it is. It's my familiar.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
He's gonna stick out his finger and like make a small nod to the songbird. It's gonna fly over, alight upon his finger, chirp a bit, and then he's gonna release it and it's gonna fly back to its perch on the window.
I'm a sense motive to if he's telling me the truth about this his.
Okay.
19. I probably don't catch anything.
Yama has you pretty convinced that that is his songbird. You've never seen him with it before, but it's his.
Right. With a sigh, I'll continue about my business.
You're disappointed that it wasn't his?
No, I'm just, yeah.
Okay, so you explain it all to him. He takes it in stride, makes a few notes on a piece of parchment in front of him. Doesn't really ask you actually a whole lot about it.
I asked him if we could run 2 campaigns concurrently.
He's gonna say
if this is resource light.
He's gonna say it's resource light in the. He said it's not resource light. It's lower on the loss of material and life.
Okay.
He's gonna say the amount of resources in order to actively pen or encourage a ogre tribe to stay in a certain vicinity is astronomical. Havens is certainly, with the loss of Roomstead, Havens is certainly taking a huge personal investment in this venture, any of these ventures.
I'll nod.
He's gonna say though, whenever you finish debriefing him, he's the magical hammer, or as far as you guys have seen, had some kind of effect whenever this ogre swung it. Definitely interests him. He kind of asked a few details about it. If you guys could tell very many details, Cedric informs him of what he knew. Being that Cedric is, the son, was actually one of the last people to see it. And Cedric kind of laid out what he knows, specifically kind of avoiding what he knows about its magical composition, but generally just kind of lays out that it's a crudely made hammer made out of an unknown material, but it looked and acted metallic, and then, without any kind of verbal or magical, trigger, the weapon activated on its own almost in perfect timing with when the ogre would want it to. So Yama's going to kind of make a few nods about that, but offer nothing else. He's going to kind of circle back to the main point that he had earlier, where he's going to say these details prove useful. Especially, I'll make sure I'll converse with Okemos to ensure that his picket line understands the risk and the improved arsenal that these ogres seem to be wielding. He's going to say, though, it is quite curious how they happen to have such a item in their midst. He's going to say, and carrying on from the idea of curious items in their midst, I have not been able to successfully scry upon them. One of the duties of the court wizards to a liege would be to offer magical intelligence, and thus far my efforts have been rendered useless by some unforeseen force. Whenever I attempt to, I merely encounter static, haze, confusion, sensory overload.
What sort of thing does that? Or could do that?
Yama's going to say a number of items. Any particularly strong magical, any particularly strong student of the arcane arts would be able to craft, enchant, or temporarily provide some form of ward against this mind's eye.
So there's an ogre wizard?
He's going to say...
Or wizard?
He's going to say that's possible, however, exceptionally unlikely, knowing their predilection and love towards the martial arts and simple, brutish tactics.
So if it's not an ogre wizard, that means it might be another wizard?
He's going to say that is an option that has not eluded me. However, also seemingly unlikely given the ogre's love for... And he's going to kind of make a face of disgust, and he's going to say, flesh. He's going to say, you both have told me about the rampant magical energies and primal chaos of the area. Perhaps that has some form of interference.
I'll ask him if he is... Has he checked scrying or whatever in the sense, and I'll give him like the approximate time that the golem should have died, essentially.
He said he did not.
And I'll look at him and be like, if you get a chance, try it again. And then I'll stand him and say thank you. If there's anything else I can do to help, just let me know. And I'll go to meet with Lord Havens.
Okay. Whenever you say that, he's gonna say he's just gonna let you guys go without even saying anything.
Well, Winston's gonna stick around.
Okay.
And as soon as Jethro's gone, he's gonna go back over to Yama and say, so some really, really, really weird things happened in that cave. We saw Kaya. She turned into a rock monster and started punching ogres.
Yama's gonna kind of look at you, incredulous for a few seconds, and then be like, the construct that your friend was talking about earlier. He's gonna say, did she...
I give him a rundown of everything that happened during the fight and tell him that that's why Jethro is acting so weird.
Matter of factly.
Yeah.
He's gonna nod, and he's gonna, without any sympathy in his voice, same dead, dry pan delivery, he's gonna say,
Mr. Potter, our new celebrity.
Loss affects us all. He will overcome. I believe your friend to be of... And he's gonna kind of not really want to say it, but he's gonna say your friend is of hardier constitution, both mentally and physically, than you would think. He's going to say the loss of Kaya Braymore is incredibly tragic. such a young lady would offer supreme aid in the forms of the arcane in this current venture. And he's going to kind of like look over to wherever Cedric's poking his head out. And he's going to kind of like look back at you and say, to clarify, she subsumed the form of the golem, literally transforming her flesh to rock?
Well, she just called a bunch of rocks to her, and they were talking to us earlier. And I told him what happened. It's like she was acting as like some weird like guardian thing to that area. I didn't really understand it, but she didn't want to go, and the rock golems didn't want her to go.
It would make sense. They would have appeared to depended on her for guidance. Golems are simple constructs. They are nothing but an energy source and a direction. The energy source sounded provided independently of her, but the guidance seemed to have been plugged in tune with her base priorities, I will say. Namely, protecting her stead, as any proud daughter of a steadholder should do. He's going to say, he's going to say, like, once again, tragic, but seemingly...
So she wasn't like a witch or anything. She just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
To have been able to activate and control such a construct, is somebody like shuffling cards?
Yeah, sorry. I'll stop.
Yeah, it's just he's going to say in order to activate, control such a construct, especially on that magnitude with that amount of, he's going to kind of swirl his hands in the air and say energy requires extreme focus and ability to see, if you will, the winds of the arcane, something above
Winds!
Yeah, something above most of your pay grades. And he's going to say,
Well, Jethro's not going to like that.
he's going to say it was entirely possible that she had some hidden talent for the arcane, whether latent or known and unacted upon.
Winston like looks terrified. He's like, "Oh God, so that mean this magic just happens to people?"
He,
I mean,
Yama's...
butterflies did fly her fingers.
And look at his hands. And just...
Magic happens.
Yeah, Yama's going to say, no, absolutely not. It's mostly hereditary. Magic happening to an individual is hardly an accident or just a fluke of fate. He's going to say, that is why many great lords strive to have magic.
Well, seeing as I don't know who my father is, that's really not that comforting.
He's going to say, many great lords strive to have magical retainers for their sons and daughters to breed that power into their family.
Whiston will raise an eyebrow at Yama and say, "So, were you quite the stud back in the day?"
He's going to arch a scorning eyebrow at you.
I'm just fucking with you, Yama.
The eyebrow is going to stay raised for a few seconds, then go back down. He's going to make no comment on what you said.
And I'll just be like, "Yeah, catch you later. Have fun, Cedric." I'm out.
You're just going to leave Cedric up there.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'll leave
Make my
it there.
awkward exit.
Yeah. So, Whiston, you're heading down the stairs, and you kind of notice this half-orc you've never really seen before still following you.
Hi.
Did I bang your sister?
Oh! Very cheerfully.
Yeah, did I bang his sister?
No.
Okay.
Be funny if you
That'd
did.
be even more awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, Terry Ball is from an entirely different place altogether.
Okay.
It'd be more likely that Ball and Katya are related than that girl and Ball.
Okay.
Hmm.
You just following us around now, I guess?
Well, I mean, he asked me to help y'all out in any way. I'm just trying to get more information at the moment.
Yeah, so, what sort of information are you looking for?
Just what's been going on. I don't really have a good grasp of what all y'all have been through. So,
I'll
just trying to
tell you
figure-
what we've been through. It's a bunch of magical bullshit.
I
And now I have
laugh at
another.
that.
And now I have another caster following me around. So you can imagine that I'm a little on edge around you, buddy.
Well, actually,
Well-
Paul, have you demonstrated any magical abilities in front
I
of
have
him?
not at all.
Okay.
So you don't know.
So you technically
mean-
do not know unless you previously know him, and know him that he's a caster.
Unless you just have some sort of like weird orc racism.
Now,
Well,
you know,
at the
you
same
do know
time,
him-
Not all
eyes.
not all orcs.
Not all orcs.
But you do remember my eyes are that weird,
Yeah.
constantly.
Your
I
eyes-
imagine
strange.
to settle it. I imagine that Ball is a familiar stranger to you all.
So I was like, okay, listen, I'll answer your questions if you tell me just what the hell is up with your eyeballs.
With your eyeballs.
Apples.
It is a gift bestowed upon me by the spirits of this world. I say it matter of factly.
Wiston,
Uh,
you're familiar with
uh.
the orcish communes and that they do worship spirits and have more of a naturalistic approach to the world as a higher power. But you haven't really firsthand seen or experienced any of their so-called gifts.
So, are you saying that a ghost gave you googly eyes?
Well, not a ghost. I mean, those are haunts. Those are, low-level things.
Low level thing.
Yeah.
So you believe in ghosts?
I mean,
You
they
don't?
exist. I don't know why you would ask that. Have you never seen a ghost?
No.
I kind of laugh and turn my head a little bit and just like whisper, "He's never seen a ghost."
Wiston, make a perception test.
Alright, one sec.
Well,
21.
51.
21.
Oh, they're playing the babies.
Also, after I whisper that,
like
I'll
drums.
wait a second and then let out
Oh
another
my
funny
gosh,
laugh
shut
as if
up.
somebody had said something.
Winston, his hand goes to the hilt of his weapon, and he's like, there's somebody else here?
No.
No.
I then smile, a very big smile.
It's like, really? Because I could have sworn I just heard somebody say something.
No, you heard something too? You're very in tune with the spirits, my friend. I like you. I clap my hands on his back.
Winston's just like tense. He's just like,
Ghost James!
thanks, I guess. Magic's not contagious, is it?
Oh, it totally is.
It spreads like a
I
wildfire.
need to go back and talk to Yama again.
Yama, cure me! Ghost
It's
germs!
on me! It's on me!
Yama!
Yama had sex with a half orc and now I can hear ghosts. Is that related?
Is that normal?
Take this pill; it should clear up in 2 to 3 weeks. See me if it itches.
Alright.
If you hear haunts and shrills and screams when you pee, you're definitely
There
you've
is
got a
great
penis ghost.
sensation.
It is possessed.
Your dick is possessed.
Some sort of succubus. Anyway,
And
sorry.
anyway, I continue on. I was like, okay, so tell me about like what exactly you've seen and what's been going on with y'all. Why was I called in to help?
Well, are you an resident expert in weird shit?
All you kind of are.
I've seen some shit.
Because weird shit is what we need an expert in. It's our lives have been nothing but weird shit ever since we took that contract to. I use air quotes when I say contract. Took that contract to go break the ice dam with Yama.
Mm-hmm.
I tell him about the primal magic events, shooting butterflies out of my hands. I tell him about the skinwalker. I tell him about the the bandit raid and the oddly well prepared bandits and well organized bandits who were led by the skinwalker.
Mm-hmm.
Tell
Oh,
him-
damn it! Hold on.
As you're saying all of this, I constantly like turn my head to the side and just make little comments to myself.
All right, that's really distracting, man. You gotta stop that.
It just helps me remember things. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
What's wrong with you, brah?
It's
See,
okay
that
that,
right-
listen.
I
It's
look
okay that people have imaginary friends. It's how people cope. It's fine.
I look
This
at him
world-
like dead in the eyes, and just like that right there. That's weird shit. That's the kind of weird shit that I'm talking about.
Okay, so my cat knocked over my lamp. Had to go pull it up real quick. What just happened?
Oh, they just finished the conversation.
Well, yeah, as he is telling me all this, I keep constantly turning my head to the side, making small little comments.
Oh, gotcha.
And Wisdom's telling him to quit it.
Yeah, Whiston, make another perception.
Oops. That's an 18.
That's an 18.
See, on the ace.
Does anything happen?
You swear it's almost there, but you can't almost exactly discern it. But you think you hear something back. It's almost unintelligible. It almost might be the wind.
And Wisdom shakes his man, you need to cut that shit out. You're
What? I mean, it's a mimetic device. It helps me out a lot.
yeah. Well, mimetic devices usually don't talk back, do they?
I don't know what you're talking about. What
And
are
I
you
don't know
doing,
who you're
man?
talking to.
Buddy, you're crazy. Let's go have a drink. It's been a long day. You've seen some weird shit. Let's go drink.
Do I have to?
No, that
Of
was
course. No,
that was me just throwing that out there as a
Yeah.
joke. I was not in character for him for you.
no. Yeah, just don't worry about it. I clap him on the back. It's like, are we gonna go find your other friend? See who he was talking to. See if we can find out some more information.
Tell you what. Why don't you find this this woman? Real hard to miss. Covered in tattoos, got pointy ears. She elf has a cloak and shawl on. Probably hitting on underage men at Havensholdt. She has more information.
I think I remember seeing her when y'all walked in. I'll go see if I can find her.
Yeah. Yeah, do that.
You're so rude. You're so fucking rude.
I'm gonna.
Underage men.
You know what? I'll walk with you too. I'll walk with you too, Havensholdt, because I'm gonna get trashed.
Okay,
All right.
so you guys are doing
Sounds like a
that.
plan.
You guys are doing that. Pan over to Kane, Jethro, who you happen to find Lord Havens. You ask an aid. If it's not too trouble, if the Lord's not too busy, please grant me a quick audience so I may ask him about his plan. Just out of the curiosity, And he's going to bring you to a private dining room, actually, that's going to have lots of ledgers, binders, books, bookshelves filled with scrolls. They all look quite dusty, worn down, and everything like that. It appears this might be kind of his private study where he gets away from things and does some thinking. And as you kind of enter, he's going to be working on a piece of smoked pork with just like a roll and a big ol' flagon in front of him, and you're gonna catch him with a mouthful when the servant, the aide, opens the door and says, "Lord, Jethro of Air wishes a quick audience over your counsel earlier." And he's going to kind of give a short bow and leave the door open for you to walk in. As you kind of come in, the Lord's standing up. You see that he's kind of dressed down. He's just got his normal tunic and pants on. Still looking very regal. It's not like his small clothes. But he's definitely not wearing his, ceremonial armor that he tends to wear around all the time. He's going to be standing up and he's going to be like, and wipe the, grab a very a maroon, ornate, gold embroidered napkin, wipe his mouth. He's going to come over, and he's going to offer you, the big forearm grip.
I'll do it. I'm pretty casual myself, in full plate and covered in
I'm pretty
weapons.
casual myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he pays your loadout no mind. To him, you might as well just be in the same clothes he is. And he's going to very nonchalantly and casually kind of lean back to kind of a leaning sit on the edge of the table, 180 degrees from around where he was. Like, he got up, came around the table, shook your hand, and now he's just kind of like doing a sit, leaning on it. He crosses his arms, and he's going to say, ask away. What are your questions, Jethro?
I will first ask him. I tell him I spoke with Yama about leading a campaign of subversion, and I feel that working in conjunction with a guerrilla style system might actually work well. What would your plans be for that?
He's gonna say he's gonna like kind of put his chin into his his hand. He's gonna kind of like think, tapping his chin a little bit. He's gonna say, got some massive background noise going on.
Sorry, that's it's me leaning in, still trying to fix my keyboard. I got
gotcha.
home and it's not working.
Cool. What's up, Kaiser?
Not too much. What'd
Hey.
I miss?
You are alone in the alchemy lab with Yama, and we'll get to that in a second.
Oh boy.
That's gonna be a fun one.
Oh boy. I can't type, by the way, for the moment, so... And if something needs to be set aside... too bad. I can't.
Yeah, so he's
So
gonna...
when we all find out you're the Skinwalker again.
It'll be like 2 hours
Well-
too late.
Yeah, I guess, Jake, the game's up. They know I'm still the Skinwalker, because I can't type aside to you.
You know what? 4 sessions is a pretty good track run. Good job, everybody. Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
'Cause I definitely enjoyed it. Maybe we'll do it again in the future.
I don't expect your trust ever again, but thank you for playing.
It's okay. I don't blame you. I blame the game.
Which is tantamount to blaming me. So what's your problem, Kane?
Fuck you. Fuck you, Jake.
Dude.
Anyway, so he's gonna nod, kind of mull over that for a second. He's gonna say, I
Let me
believe.
stop you real quick. Dewshine mixes awesome with moonshine. Just
I
throwing that out.
believe that's the purpose of it.
It mixes awesome. Nah, you may continue. I'm sorry. I felt like it needed to be said.
Okay, so he's gonna
That's
mull over
happening.
it for a second. He's gonna kind of repeat actually a sentiment that Yama shared. That he's gonna say one strategy, especially that of subversion, would be best followed through in its entirety. He's going to say to allocate resources to either or might threaten the likelihood of reaching any goal, any meaningful goal.
Hey, I got it to work. Fuck yeah.
I'll nod.
He's gonna
And we'll clear. Okay, go ahead.
what were you going to say?
No, we'll just clear up the details. I just wanted to see what his opinion was on it.
Yeah, he is not for spending the resources and mix and matching them.
Okay.
He's more of a single strategy kind of guy. It's a combined arms approach, sure, but it is
I like a la carte strategies.
It's a, but it is definitely a, it's a full allocation of the resources and might that he can scrounge up into one particular doctrine that both of these guys have appeared to think is what's going to be the most effective. None of them want to half-ass anything.
All right, sounds good.
So
That
Column.
was beautiful, and you need to go away, sir.
he's going to ask if is there anything else I can, any other questions I can shed light on for you?
Yeah, I asked him. You said that you would grant a boon to us last time we did some. We completed a task.
I am a man of my word.
And I come here to ask that now.
He's going to be like, okay, ask.
I'll look at him and say, currently the survivors of Braymore are acting as refugees within the walls of Havens.
And he's going to kind of lead on with an I. They are afforded some of the best that Havensholdt has to offer.
But you know as well as I that refugees is a temporary placement.
They would need to reintegrate to some form of society. I agree.
Right, and I said I ask that you make that happen and try to bring them to a level at least mildly similar to where they were, something beyond refugees.
He's probably gonna be like, "Great, now they're all members of Airstead."
Yeah, he's gonna kind of like lean a little bit more heavily on the table. He's gonna run a hand through his hair and he's gonna say, "I cannot give them their homes back. I can attempt to liberate it, but
not going to happen."
He's gonna say, "But understand, all the charity that I can muster up right now pales into comparison into the resources that this campaign would require. I can offer them the best I can, and I promise to do so. More so that they are my steadholders. But you have my word, I will attempt to lift them to whatever standard I can in the time allowed."
I'll nod and I'll say that's all I ask.
He's going to say, "You're born a different breed, Jethro. To feel such duty for those that aren't even among your immediate family is rare enough in my valley."
He'll grunt and be like, "They're close enough."
He's going to say, "I understand the arrangement that was between the two of you. I am sorry for your loss." And he's going to kind of stand up and put a hand on your shoulder, and he's going to say, "I never wish any of this tragic pain amongst any of my steadholders." And he's going to slam his fist into the table, and he's going to, the plate's going to bounce into the air, some of his meat's going to fall off. He's going to sound really angry, and he's going to be like, "I'd give anything to bring any of them back. And you know that." He's going to kind of wrap it up with getting himself under control, tucking his shirt back in, and he's going to say, "I will call on you, Jethro. You're a man of unique standing and sense of duty. And though you have done enough for me in my service and duty to this valley, I feel I must lean on you some more in the future. Can I count on you?"
I'll grunt to the affirmative.
And he's gonna give kind of another grunt back in kind of a fierce smile, and he's gonna say, he's gonna kind of like make a motion down to the plate of food, and he's gonna say, "Are you hungry? I have plenty more in the kitchen to spare."
He'll decline.
Okay. Yeah.
He'll says I have other matters to attend to.
I as well. Thank you for coming by, Jethro.
And he'll walk out and he'll actually go find his accommodations at, I'm assuming, Havensholdt. So.
Yeah. So you make your way back. I imagine that you stop at the communes.
Yeah, stop at the communes, make that happen.
Okay, good. So that conversation that we discussed happens, and you head down to Aylesholt. Cedric, you are walking Ball down there. Katya, where are you?
Good question.
Big drop, urban awesome dudes.
Walking around macking on people.
Creeping on lad, nails hold.
I would like you to remember, my character is only 22.
Creeping on lad, nails hold.
That's my...
Lad's like 17.
Lad,
Yeah,
he's
he is
18.
17.
I thought he was 18. Oh, I don't care. Whatever. They don't have rules about this. There's no rules about this.
There needs to be a Romeo and Juliet clause, but nope. Katya is right. No real. If you can get it, get it. That's kind of the rule.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Except for
Rolling
like,
for everyone.
kids in their early pubescent
Like
Right.
that one guy.
years.
Like Cedric's friend.
Yeah.
Not like Cedric's kid friend, but like Cedric's bandit friend who he made friends with at the
Cedric has
bandit
other
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe that you thought, oh, this guy doesn't want to murder somebody, therefore he must be a good person.
I don't know. I thought it's Cedric. Like he thought maybe his township just didn't like him. Maybe he's weird like me.
No.
Yeah, he is
He's
weird.
Hopefully not like you.
Yeah, I'm definitely probably like at a tavern talking to people. Figuring out, like, just talking to people about the general feel of, like, all these new people in their stead, and, like, what's the feel of the place?
The feel
How's
of the
everyone
place,
feeling about new people?
generally depressed, sad, scared, frightened, very tense, a lot of anxiety. The tavern is only like a quarter as full as you guys normally see during market day.
Yeah.
Too soon, Leah. Too soon. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, Katya, go ahead and make me a perception test.
What's too soon?
I'm
Bringing up all the bullshit that's been happening.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Ain't even there, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, make a perception test.
I was definitely about to roll in the wrong client.
So while you are going around making this small talk with people, that's generally kind of the vibe you're getting. And unless you want to have like an actual meaningful conversation where you pry somebody for details, that's usually kind of what it is. While you're kind of doing all this, you kind of feel a slight bump as somebody kind of moves past you. And it kind of sticks out to you a little weird that you are in a not actually very crowded place. So why did somebody bump into you?
So why is somebody on my space?
Oh, they took
Katya
your
is
shit.
gonna, like, do a little, like, tense freeze and then turn around.
And the figure's gone.
Side eye.
Yep. You turn around, and the figure has, just disappeared. Almost like you kind of just got bumped, and you don't even know how he did it.
Is it one
Uh-oh.
of Ball's ghosts?
Possibly.
It's
Who
something
knows?
else entirely.
I mean, I'm gonna laugh really hard because I'm gonna finally make the connection between Whiston's penis being haunted and Ball's ghost. There's a total testicle joke in there somewhere.
Is it? Oh my god. Does Jake know the testicle story from our last D&D campaign?
Wait a minute,
From,
what?
like 3 campaigns ago, where Moses
You mean the very first campaign we ever
Moses
played?
lost an actual testicle trying to jump over zombies.
Oh yeah, I
yeah.
heard about that. Okay, so
It's that one.
he's and so you kind of instinctively,
I'm gonna look around, I see no one. I'm gonna pat myself down to make sure my weapons are still there.
yeah, all your weapons are there, and as well as, hold on one second.
Bumping up my personal space. Craziness.
Personal space.
I'm gonna turn and be like, did anybody else just like see this person? Nobody? Ghosts.
I don't think I'm walking with you, am I? I'm
No, I
not-
mean, like,
Cedric,
in the tavern, like-
Cedric, at this time you're one-on-oneing, having a good heart-to-heart, or whatever it is that you and Yama would actually do whenever you're alone.
Mage wand to mage wand. It's pretty gay.
Touch the
Whoa.
tips. Anyway, so, but you like, hey, did anybody else? And everybody else just kind of like looks up at you and shrugs. They weren't fucking paying attention. But I shot you the message.
Oh, okay. How do I whisper back again?
/W space GM space. Yep.
GM space whatever the message is. Okay. Cool. Keep talking.
Okay. So you just kind of go around making that small chat with everybody. You have a drink or two, and Whiston and the half-orc show up, and they kind of come into this bar that has clearly had more lively atmospheres. Whiston, you guys hit the front door expecting to have a good time, and you just kind of come into this very depressing, quiet Havensholdt. It's sad. There's not even a bard playing right now.
Winston just comes in without his eyes are closed, so he doesn't even know. He's like, "Who's ready to get shitty?"
A bunch of really mopey glances make your way.
Well, okay. Not the usual atmosphere. Sorry. What was your name again?
Terry?
Terry?
Very.
Terry's ball is catatonic. He's just zoning out right now. And you think it has something to do with all the talking to voices? He might be like receiving a message from the mothership.
Mothership.
Sorry about that.
He snaps out of it.
Yes, while that was going on, I was just staring off into space.
Yep.
Winston was just like, so, yeah, what was your name?
Ball.
Ball.
Yep, Ball Bakshi.
Shimbakshi?
Bakshi.
Bashi?
Bakshi.
Okay.
I'm just gonna call you Kombucha.
Why?
Alright, that's not my name, so I don't know if I'll actually respond to that.
You
But this is very simple. You can just call me Ball. Very simple name.
I don't know if I feel comfortable calling you Ball.
Do you have a problem with the name?
Oh, maybe a little bit.
Why?
Oh my god. You humans are so weird.
I am very confused by this.
Yeah, to Ball, it's been nothing but his name his whole life, so he doesn't understand the stigma behind why somebody would be like,
Listen,
Like-
buddy, I don't know how to.
God, you think his eyes are weird, and now you got a problem with his name? Like,
I
what
turned
is
to
it
the
with you?
side
Got
and
His
just
something,
like-
eyes are
you
weird.
got something against orcs, man? Like,
You're not
what's
even
your
here
pro-
right now. You're
You're
off
in the-
talking to people.
You're in the
Yeah.
same town I am.
You guys do see Katya sitting in the corner, working on unrolling a scroll of parchment.
Winston is gonna be like, all right, I don't know how to put this delicately, but
Mm.
in common, ball is a synonym for testicle.
Well, that's
Whoa.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm just really stunned. It's like, I turned my head to the side and I was like, is that right?
And Terry, you actually hold on one second.
Okay.
Holy crap, that Steve Lichman thing took off.
Yay! Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of say that over your shoulder.
Okay. I was
Winston,
like, eh.
he's
Like Winston's like, so I just feel like I'm inadvertently insulting you every time I say your actual name.
Well, you know what? Winston in Orcish means chode, so I guess we're in the same boat. And I just smiled back and say, let's go get a drink.
Are they talking loud enough so I can hear if it's that quiet in there? Because I'm just gonna bust out
I'm
laughing
loud.
from the corner of this
I am
tavern.
loud.
yeah, Katya,
No,
you would
Winston just kind of stares for a moment, and then he's gonna put his hand on his chin
Bust
and
out
nod.
laughing from this
He's
corner.
gonna put his hand on his chin and nod. It's like that was a pretty solid burn. I'm not even mad.
All right, drinks.
So, Katya, you see these two come in. They kind of have what looks like a really painful, awkward conversation. And then, like, one of them looks really confused. And then the other one says something. And Whiston looks really confused. And now they're going to go get drinks. You guys clearly see Katya hanging out over there on her own.
Yeah, and I point her out to Ball, and it's like, all right, yeah, She can answer your questions. She
All right.
loves to talk to strapping young men, young lads. Don't actually know how old you are, ball, but I'm gonna go over here and get my drink on.
You don't want to drink with your friend?
Friend is a strong word.
I prefer ally.
Yeah, I prefer ally of convenience.
Okay. Interesting
She's-
relationship.
She shot me in the arm.
You deserve
Oh.
it.
Well, that's not very friendly at all.
No, right?
Yeah, that's kind of a dick move.
So
I'll go speak with her though, since you
yeah,
want
just
to.
watch
It's a
your
very Winston move.
Watch your unarmed bits, apparently.
yeah, watch your sleeves and your Whiston.
How old are you? How old are you? 20? Ah, you're good.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry.
But Katya, did you get the message I sent?
Yes.
Okay, so this half-orc is merrily making his way over towards you.
I'm gonna put it back in my pocket.
Yeah, before you really get the chance to kind of read it, Ball, you kind of notice that what she was busying herself with, she has put away since you've come to the table.
Okay. Cool. I tell her hello. We met whenever they entered the town, and I was
Yeah,
there.
you've got really cool eyes.
Thanks. I like it.
Yeah. Me too.
You have some very nice ears. I'm guessing they're
Thanks.
pointy.
I grew them myself.
Oh, nice. Who knew?
Wow, this is nice actually. This is
Wow, is this what conversation is like when life doesn't suck? I gotta change this real quick. Emerald Dragon tears off the roof of the tavern.
Whiston's like, well,
Winston's sitting over at the bar like, my name does not mean chode. He's like asking around, hey, do you know Orcish?
He doesn't know.
I actually know Orcish.
So he just starts going out. It's like, what's
Just
chode?
kidding, I don't know shit.
Well, in my language.
So, Jethro, you've made your way to Aylesholt at this point. You come in, and for simplicity's sake, about 30 seconds right behind you comes Cedric. We'll get the Yama roleplay in, Kaiser. I'm really enjoying the tavern scene. But you guys both kind of, Jethro, you open up the door, somber as ever. The atmosphere matches how you normally feel and how your face looks. And you notice Whiston's at the bar looking a bit miffed. The half-orc and the half-elf are over in the corner,
shoot the shit.
apparently making white people jokes. So,
Pretty much. That's all we do.
and then roughly 30 seconds later, you're gonna hear a very soft coughing noise, and Cedric has happened upon you as well.
I just
I'm
kind
going-
of happen to
okay.
people.
Sorry.
That's what Mom said.
I'll go up to the bartender and I'll look at him and just kind of like fix him with like the death stare, not on purpose, but go room.
And it's gonna be the young-ish lady who you've seen here runs the bar most nights, and she's gonna be like, aye, we've got plenty of room. Big, small, and she's gonna kind of like look over your shoulder at Whiston and be like, double.
And I'll be,
At Cedric, over your shoulder at Cedric, who is sheepishly following you into the bar, I assume.
right, I'll go. Single small room will be fine.
Agreed. And she sets forth a rate that is, it's affordable to you, but now that you've actually spent a good chunk of your money,
There's highway robbery.
I don't understand. How come he doesn't have anywhere to stay if he lives there?
We don't live here.
I don't live here.
Where are we?
and Havensholdt.
Yeah, I thought I was given free rooms by.
Oh, yeah. I thought.
Y'all were given free lodging at the shrine.
Yep.
Ah, fuck that. All right, yeah, I'll pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So-
staying at the shrine.
Mhm.
Look, I have to pay for this shit.
I'll pay for my privacy.
Okay. So otherwise you're just gonna get kind of shoved into a room with like 16 bunks.
Yeah,
And a
I'll pay
bunch-
for privacy.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
she
cool
she
people.
sets forth a rate. It's a little bit more. It hurts your wallet a little bit more than it would. Normally, you wouldn't even think about it, but you spent like pretty much like 80% of your money on that piece of paper you're holding.
Yep.
And she's gonna say, "And your friend?" And she's gonna kind of like look over at Cedric.
Oh,
And I'll be like,
I'm kind of okay in the library.
Hmm?
I just kind of, I don't really remember sleeping. I just read books, and then at some point, I wake up and I'm slept.
She's gonna she's gonna be like, "Kid, that's not healthy." But
I'll
occupancy's high, so if you don't want one, that's fine. Drinks.
I'll hold my hand out for my key.
She gets you a key. She gives you also a tankard of ale. She pours one for Cedric.
I will ignore the ale,
Eh,
walk upstairs, and you're going to hear clanging sounds from upstairs.
Okay, so
Oh.
there's clanging for like 20 seconds as you just hear boom, ding, 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 dunk, doom, snap.
So it's my upstairs neighbors.
Yeah.
And you're just going to hear that for a while. There's no jovial atmosphere. There's no laughing. There's barely any conversation. There's no minstrel. So you do kind of hear it all, and everybody's going to kind of be like looking up there while it's happening. And then, what are you doing after that?
I'll come back down wearing just like normal tunic, breeches, boots, that kind of thing.
And
He'll have,
he comes out without his arms and armor.
yeah, he'll have the sword like strapped on his back, and he'll walk to the bar, sit at the bar, and be like, and he'll reach into his pouch, it is slowly dwindling, and pull out a gold piece, which is a lot of money for buying alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I would think. And he's just
Winston's gonna turn to you as you sit down and he's like, Jethro, do you know Orcish?
Jethro will be like, he'll grunt to the affirmative. He'll take the gold piece, push it on put on the table, push it forward, and go until it runs dry.
The bartender's gonna, she's gonna take it, and she's actually gonna take it, reach into her pouch, and she's gonna pull out probably about 10 drinks worth of copper pieces and line them up in little stacks in front of you, and that's just gonna be your tab, and she's just gonna pull from that.
Fair.
So you see Jethro just cash up for 10 straight.
And Winston looks at that and then looks back at Jethro. He's like, Jethro, what's a chode?
And he'll without even looking at him, he'll be like, "Ask your mom." And he'll just start throwing them back, like in rapid succession.
She gets the next one filled by the time that your empty one hits the table.
Yep. All 10 rapid succession.
So you can't do 10 in 5 minutes. That's gonna kill you. But it takes him about. Yeah, he's working on them really hard.
Let's recall the time Seth has almost died.
Yeah, and we can also
Okay.
recall the time that I've done that and just been fine.
Yeah.
So
So,
okay.
Cedric, are you doing anything?
I settled down somewhere with my back to the wall and sniff this drink. And I know what it is now, that I've got a pretty good idea of what it is, and I know I don't like it. So I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to look like I'm drinking it so I don't offend anyone.
Just be,
Winston's gonna get up for a second, walk over to Cedric, and say, Cedric,
Yeah?
do you know Orcish?
That's a good question. I'm about to tell you once I find it on my sheet. Do. Oh, where's my languages? I may not have written my languages down. How many languages do wizards have?
A lot.
yeah,
A
with the
lot.
high intelligence, usually like 4 or 5.
Oh.
It's pretty safe to assume that because of where you're located and
Yeah,
that you have a high
Orcish would be a very common grab for you as far as languages go.
Well, my int's 19, so
Yeah,
I
you
figured I
definitely
probably...
know Orcish.
He's like, I'm familiar with it.
What's a chode?
Oh.
You mean Whiston?
Well, and he'll draw you out a diagram.
Winston's watching this. He's like, oh. Huh. Do you put your drink down as you draw out this diagram?
Yeah.
Okay, Winston's gonna take your drink and walk away with it.
The responsibility is gone.
He will. Winston will come back, finding his glass he left there empty.
I'll sit down and look at it. He's like, oh, good thing I grabbed this one.
And Jethro fishes out another gold coin.
And Winston's gonna put his hand over the gold coin and like put it on the table, and, like look at Jethro. He's like, "Don't you think you had enough, buddy?"
Jethro, at this point, you're about 5 deep in really quick, rapid succession. So let me make a con check.
Okay. Just pure con. Not bad, because if it's just a plain skill check.
What'd you get? 17? Yeah. You're holding it down pretty well, and you're pretty good buzzed.
He doesn't want to be buzzed. He wants to forget.
Well, you're not enough deep yet.
And then he keeps going.
Okay, so he keeps going. Winston holds your gold coin down as you fish it out.
He'll put it back. He'll look at him. Put it back in. He said, so you got a journal.
Hmm?
So you have a journal.
Yeah.
Should read that before you get too smashed.
Winston's like, yeah, I almost forgot.
Yeah.
Which I did. I almost forgot.
What's this plot element right here? Pffosh, drinking.
Yeah, and so he'll pop it out on the table, flip it open, and start looking over it. Take a sip from the ale every once in a while.
As you flip through I imagine you start at the front and just kind of peruse for any kind of keywords that spark your interest. You read a few all the way through, and it's very obvious that this is the journal of a young lady of her mid-teens and just the basic day-to-day stuff that teenagers kind of think about.
Parts, and it says Mrs. something something hyphen something.
Yeah, Mrs. Prince Charming. It actually doesn't really
Mrs.
have...
Whiston Green.
No, that's his mom.
Who's his mom?
Lorella.
It's his mom's journal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It's her diary from when she was a young girl.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Never mind.
So,
Stop being gross, Leah.
What the hell, man?
so you kind of get like just the day-to-day stuff, a little bit of bitching about, her brother, some bitching about her dad, the chores. There's a few excited entries about when she went to market day and things like that. And you kind of get that none of this is really all that pertinent to your current situation, but you're going to have to spend some time going through it all. It's actually, there's a lot of content here to read through. But as you kind of go through the first, 10, 15 pages, that's kind of what you catch it.
And Winston's just like, boring.
So, Ball and Katya, you guys are kind of shooting the breeze when you see Jethro just start killing them, and then Winston pull a very, very slick, bro, I got you kind of move with Cedric's drink. Cedric, are you actually sitting with any other members of the party, or have you separated yourself?
He's probably separated himself. He's got his back to a corner. He's mostly watching, and fortunately, his drink has been relieved by Winston, and he has since leaned over to the bartender and asked if she has any juice.
Winston, Cedric's finding himself, the milk drinker. Cedric has found. You guys see Cedric on his own, hanging out in the corner of the bar. Definitely looking as nervous and socially awkward as always. The bartender's gonna come over and she's gonna be like, she's gonna have another tankard and she's like full of ale and she's gonna come over to you and she's gonna like put it down in front of you and be like, I noticed your friend took yours, so here's another. And she's gonna like look at you.
Thank you.
Why is this bartender trying to get him to drink so much?
Because
Job.
because Jethro's buying. That's why.
Well, give it to somebody who is sitting in there else. We can't be the only people in the tavern.
She doesn't know better, probably.
No, there's
She's a bad
about
bartender then.
there's about 10 other people. And
Let's
unless
start buying.
now they're all kind of slow sipping on drinks. Nobody's really trying to have some kind of lively festivities. They're all hanging out.
Okay.
So the two of you kind of see that. Are you guys up to anything in particular?
No, just reading through the thing, I guess in silence now, since Jethro's being all morose.
Yeah, I asked Katya why Jethro is as morose as he is.
His fiance, I assume, died.
Oh.
There was a cave and there were rock golems.
I hope you just like shout that out. He's like, his fiance died.
God, you can't do that. No. I'm not that crass.
You guys do recognize at least 2 or 3 of the people here are from Braymore Stead.
Yeah. So I like explain the whole situation with the ogres and the cave and the rock golems and the transformation.
You take great care to do it as
Very quiet.
subtly, as possible to avoid kind of causing.
Like lots of hand motions because, well, Katya can't help it.
Yeah, so you definitely work on trying to keep the anguishing others down to a minimum.
Yeah.
So it probably takes a good while for her to do it, but Paul, you have a pretty good grasp of some of the shit they've been through. Maybe not the impact it's had on them personally, but you at least know their recent maybe month and a half's worth of encounters and things like that. So you're a good bit more familiar with what's going on.
Good. I was like, I respond with, that's really, really terrible. That sounds like a horrible time.
Pretty bad.
I can
That
kind of
sounds like a
understand.
worse.
shitty vacation.
I feel like it's only going to get worse if they continue on this like ogre campaign. But I guess we'll have to cross that bridge when we get there.
I can kind of understand why Winston is so like freaked out with all the magic stuff going on.
Yeah, but the butterflies were so funny. I say that out loud. I go, yeah, but the butterflies were hilarious.
Winston just kind of shivers.
You get a few people to kind of like look over your way when you say that out loud. Paul, make a perception check.
All right. 20 plus, what's my perception?
Playing hockey again, yay!
$13.
There you go.
Yeah, 2-minute power play.
Yeah. I tell Katya I'm going to excuse myself to go over and speak with Jethro since I haven't actually gotten a chance to talk with him really.
Okay.
All right. Well, it was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
Actually getting to talk to somebody who isn't,
God, human,
That's
you
So
mean?
nice.
Yeah, that's basically.
Because I gotta tell you, these humans are just bad
worst.
shit racist. Like, I don't know what their problem is.
Make a stealth check if you're wanting to keep this on the DL.
Just tell us what you really feel.
What,
Don't like it, you can leave.
Okay.
Make the comments like I've dealt with it.
Yeah, Katya very slickly leans over and she kind of drops that bomb in your ear. It's the human aversion to half-breeds is nothing new to you.
Yeah.
So, but nobody else overheard it, thankfully, and I imagine you guys share a laugh that kind of draws a few eyebrows, but nothing more from the surrounding people.
Dead.
Sounds good. I'll walk over to Jethro.
Just they're hanging
Sit
out
down
with
beside him at the bar.
mankind.
The bartender's gonna kind of like walk by. As she does, she's gonna point to one pile of the copper and point to Ball and give an inquisitive eyebrow to Jethro.
I'm going to. I'll shrug. Say why not?
Okay. She scoops it. You've got 2 piles of copper left, and she offers a mug of ale to Ball.
Take it. I assume the bartender has probably been by to the shrine for something at some point.
She doesn't negotiate with half orcs.
So what was your question, Terry? I'm sorry.
I assume the bartender has been by the shrine at some point,
Um,
or at least a family member or something.
you being human, not really. You tend to attract more of the half-breeds or the small percentage of orcs. A few humans, but she's not normally your normal, she's not part of your normal congregation.
Okay. Well, whatever. I turned to Jethro and just asked, so Kaya was just explaining to me a lot of what y'all have been through, and I can kind of understand why, especially Winston being as freaked out as he is about stuff, and about your
Winston.
situation.
Winston.
I'll be like,
Winston.
I'll say that the chode is prone to hyperbole.
The chode. I laugh at that.
I'll say it completely flat.
I'll still laugh.
You notice that Jethro,
I
it
know
makes
what that
sense
means now.
Mhm.
It makes sense now, but his delivery is lacking emotion.
Yeah, even though he's lacking emotion, I'm still going to be very jovial about everything. I do offer him my sincere condolences about all that he has been through.
But seriously, it sucks.
Yeah.
He'll say, I don't actually share Winston's aversion to magic. As long as it helps the stead and the greater good, it has a place.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to be accompanying y'all, and I did notice that you did have another person astute with the magical arts with y'all, so I don't see why he would be so adverse to it. But
Whenever you
it's-
say that, the bartender is going to be 5 feet from you, and you're going to notice that her eye kind of you kind of caught her attention,
Okay.
and she's going to kind of start looking around at all the recent arrivals.
Now I am trying to say this as quietly as possible.
Okay,
but
stealth check.
She's still close.
Stealth
Okay.
check.
/. This is gonna be terrible. Stealth is a whole
Possibly at the
-4.
church. Whoa.
How?
Oh.
Oh, because of armor check penalty,
Oh no, that didn't work.
right? What kind of armor are you wearing?
If any.
Medium.
Because if you're saying it quietly, you're not going to take your armor check penalty to the stealth check.
Oh well, then it'll be 0, but it's still an 8.
Okay. So, Jethro, you've kind of noticed that the bartender picked up on what he was saying about someone with magical ability. And she's going to kind of you're going to notice her scan the recent arrivals of all 5 of you.
And I'm going. Whenever her eyes come around to me, I'm going to make eye contact with her, and silently dare her to say something.
She's going to kind of roll her eyes and be like,
I see nothing here.
yeah. Actually, make an intimidation check on that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's charisma, so I suck at it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you get a circumstance bonus for being drunk and morose and having a really stanky attitude right now.
Yeah. 18.
Okay.
Stanky attitude bonus.
Stanky attitude bonus. Kane's got his bitch mode on.
Yep.
Anyway, so you kind of cold stare her, you know that she knows that she overheard something you didn't want her to, and she's gonna kind of play it off and play it off and go back to polishing glasses down towards Cedric.
It'd be like, odd thing. People always speaking up and trying to figure out other people's business. Much like my compatriot over there telling you mine.
Oh.
At any rate,
Ooh.
yeah, at any rate, your presence in this venture is no longer your say. And he'll hold up the piece of paper. He'll hold up the piece of paper, which is a contract, and say, technically, you don't have a choice.
At this point, Ball, you notice you're very familiar with these things. Generally, when the temple tends to send somebody out on any kind of mission or anything like that, they issue one of these letters of remote sovereignty. And basically what it says is that you are authorized to follow this person, the holder's instruction, in lieu of your own, but not superseding your own normal standing contract. You are effectively working for him right now. The temple still holds the contract, and they're still responsible, and your actions still reflect your temple. But Jethro is technically the guy who is your, I guess the best way I would say it would be kind of like a supervisor.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't, he technically kind of gives you directions, and you work for him, but he's not paying your paycheck. And he's not the one in trouble for what you do. So there is a little bit of leeway and kind of a common sense clause that he can't order you to, like, kill kids and stuff like that. But effectively, yeah, you're very familiar with it. You work for him now.
Okay. So I'll take it, my face drops for a second. And I, under my breath, to say, like, really?
I roll perception? Or, never mind. I'll wait for that.
I was like, huh. All of a sudden, my mouth, or I start smiling really big again. I was like, okay, so you're my new boss.
You're not going to talk to your little buddy?
Okay.
Oh, well.
Talk to who?
Can I roll perception to see his little buddy?
If he's a ghost, you can't see him.
You can't see my little buddy.
Yeah, he didn't really make an aside, and there wasn't really anything else there. He kind of, that was more to himself, and you can very clearly see that.
Can I sense motive?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
28.
Terry, what are your truest intentions with that conversation?
I would surprise.
How does he honestly feel about this?
I would imagine surprised yet reluctant, having heard all the crazy fucking shit you've been having to deal with. And now he's...
I'm actually not that reluctant. I mean...
Okay.
I am generally a happy-go-lucky person. Don't really care. Just go with the flow. So I was just like surprised that I am now technically under his employ instead of just going as a normal or a simple representative from the shrine.
Well, Terry, you are familiar with the way the shrine does business. This isn't new.
Oh, okay. But then, yeah, still just slight surprise. But that's it.
Oh,
No
I
other
get to follow
intentions.
you assholes around now.
No. But I'll say, and I won't really make much of it because I really don't give a fuck anymore. I'm not really going to make this entire time I've not really made an effort to, like, lower my voice or pitch it differently. And I'll simply say matter-of-factly, in the near future, rivers of blood is going to flow. Your job is going to be to make sure that it's not the blood of my compatriots.
That is something I'm pretty good at. So, yeah, I'm cool with that.
I expect nothing less.
All right. So,
Winston's gonna pick up when he hears this, and he's just like, "Whoa, it's a little dark, don't you think?"
He's going to cold stare Winston in the same manner that
Shutting up.
I'll be like, things are going to die. Some of them might die slowly. And he'll turn back to Ball and go, Shrine Soul, how do you feel about keeping something alive so it can die slower?
well,
Winston's just to be like, okay, I think this is a conversation we don't need to be having in public right now, Jethro.
I tell him,
He's
well,
just gonna keep staring at
personally, and I whisper this, but I say, well, personally, I try to stay out of the business of actually killing any individual thing, really.
He'll chuckle he'll do a half-heart chuckle and give him like a really sarcastic smile and go, "Don't worry, you won't have to kill anything."
Which I'm actually okay with. I'm all for helping other people complete whatever job they need completed, for the glory of the shrine. But
The glory of the shrine.
as long as I'm not actually doing any of the killing, I'm totally cool.
Good. I'm sure we'll get along swimmingly.
That's a pun because we actually got thrown off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get along swimmingly. May this be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Indeed. I am overly, happy about all of this for some reason. I do ask him, like, when are we going to actually head out on whatever task we've been given?
When Lord Havens has said as much. Probably at least until after next market day.
All right.
Yep. And around this time, you guys are actually 5 minutes left. Yeah. Okay. Around this time, you guys kind of hear a what sounds like a small band of people approaching. Young men, a bit boisterous voices. Maybe about 3 or 4 of them, and you're gonna hear the the door open in the tavern. Okemos and a few of his men, more senior men, and what looks to be kind of like a sergeant in the town militia, all kind of come in, survey the scene, and seeing that there's the greatest space of bar in between Jethro and Cedric, all kind of crowd down towards Cedric's end.
Great.
So you're going to have these they're not being disrespectful or annoying or obnoxious, but they're holding a conversation about the finer points of what kind of leather do they wrap on the grip of their sword, which one absorbs blood the less, the least, which one, feels better in the hand, which one forms, and which one gives them blisters.
Yeah. He takes his drink and he very carefully slips under the counter and up in between that little space where your knees go under the bar, and will very carefully ninja shuffle along the periphery, drink in hand, to escape this terrible situation.
So these guys come in, they get comfortable. They don't at all bully or anything. Cedric immediately worms out of there as if his life depended on it. And the only other kind of open
I remember the last time I ran into a bunch of toughs I thought were nice guys at first.
And you're gonna hear some of the soldiers kind of like, they're gonna see you as you're going around. They're gonna be like, "Oh no, man, I'm sorry. You can stay. We're not gonna be trying to bother you."
Oh, they saw me. Run! I run. But I realize as I get out of the tavern that I still have the glass in hand, and I'm stealing a glass. And this is such a terrible, terrible thing that I just down the glass all in one. And then, reach back inside, put the glass on the nearest table, and then go for it. I jet back to where I kept the kid.
So, Cedric, you see him kind of try and you try and see nobody sees him, and the spotlight gets put on him, and just the greatest amount of spurging and spaghetti spilling. You just see him be like up, and back out the door, turn around, stop, fidget for a second, looking back and forth, not really sure what to do, kills the glass, puts it down on a porch table, and you see him start jogging off. Cedric, make a con check.
In a surprising amount of time too, the kind of downing you would expect to see at one side of a bet. Let's see. Con check.
And Jethro, you as well.
Oh, good. I hope I'm fucked.
Winston just raises his glass to Cedric as he downs.
Damn it!
You're still good.
Is this a fort check? Yeah, it's the same as a fort check for me.
Is it a fort check or a?
Ah!
Oh,
Ah!
Rolling 20s where it counts, gentlemen.
All right. So, Kane, you finish your first 10. You're drunk, but you are not smashed. You don't know what's going on. Why does life want you to remember? And so, if you're going to break down your second gold piece, the bartender will do it. Especially since you have a room right upstairs. Cedric, you run. You feel a really strong buzz combined with a runner's high, and you're actually feeling pretty euphoric right now. But you're not smashed. You're not dying. You're not waking up in the gutter.
And you run all the way until you run into Yama, and then you feel terrible.
Yeah.
And there's beer on my breath.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's the other way around. I ran into Yama first.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so we're going to pause for a 15-minute break right here. Kind of a good spot. Yeah,
Okay.
you guys are all hanging out at the bar. Cedric's heading up to wherever. Katya, I will get you that message in just a second, okay?
Okay.
All right, I guess we'll start back at, what, 9:15?
Yeah.
Cool.
yeah.
All right, guys. What's the next plan? What are we gonna do next?
So we're supposed to be heading out like right before market day or right
After market day. Like we're actually super downtimed until market day.
Yeah, I like the idea of guerrilla warfare. That's more up Wiston's alley.
More so than like subterfuge and.
Yeah, I'm not.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I wouldn't be good with that at all.
I feel like subterfuge and whatnot would actually just. I think it'd be the most effective, but I also think we'd fuck it up royally.
Yeah. Like I know, we know for a fact that we're not gonna be the best in stand-up combat. You might be, but the rest of us not so much.
We're also not
So-
going to be the best in being like making intelligent decisions and like trying to play them against each other either.
Right.
Hit
So
and runs
our
would probably be the
strengths-
best.
Yeah, our
That's-
strengths would probably be hit and run campaign.
I don't know. I think Cedric could pull something like that off.
Yeah.
He was pretty resourceful when it came to dealing with the bandits.
But Cedric's what, level 5 now? You got any sick nasty spells, Kaiser? Yet?
Should have fireball now.
Like I'm trying to think. I
I
can't really.
think. Wizard.
So, does Cedric have a familiar?
Yes,
What is it?
it's an owl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that. Totally forgot for a while.
Yeah, Cedric gets 1 third level spell at 5th level.
You.
Only one?
Yeah, because
Doesn't he get bonus spells because of intelligence?
oh yeah, probably.
So, yeah.
I'm just looking at the table.
Okay.
Just trying to think. I'm thinking you're right though.
Yeah.
Guerrilla war is probably best war.
And yeah,
Yeah.
Cedric learns can learn 2 new 3rd level spells.
But I would agree that guerrilla war is best war.
Yeah, I can be the most help in that situation, really.
Same.
Dum, dum, da-dum.
We got that part handled. I'm going to get some more super cool role play. Things are working out pretty good.
Oh wow, there's so many wizard spells they had to break them up by category and by level.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wizard spells.
Non-detection. Okay. That's a 3rd level spell. That's the thing that protects against scrying.
That's cool.
Magic circle against chaos, evil, good, law. That's good. Explosive runes.
Ooh.
That would be...
You start some shit running the correct start some shit running the correct direction, make them walk over them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm back.
We're looking at the cool new spells you get at 3rd level.
Ooh, what do I get?
Explosive runes.
Ooh.
Which would be great if we're doing a hit and run campaign.
Yeah, we're thinking a hit and run guerrilla warfare campaign. How would you?
Summon monster 3 and summon totem
Oh.
creature. Pretty sure.
This is
It's
where
fine.
wizards just start to go full retard, isn't it?
Yeah, level
Oh,
5
you get
is when they
stinking
start.
cloud.
Nah.
Yeah,
I'm
this is where
hopping
they
on
start
that one.
becoming Good.
I actually have that one as well.
Blood biography. Learn about a creature with its blood.
Oh, that's not creepy at all.
Clairvoyance. Hear or see at a distance for 1 minute per level.
It seems legit.
Oh, I get to go down to RISD tomorrow. The art
There-
school.
There is a spell called Pugwampy's Grace.
The what?
What is that? And I want it.
It sounds like a Jabberwocky, but with a pug.
It basically says one creature rolls 2d20 whenever it needs to roll a d20 and then must take the lower result. He basically gives somebody disadvantage.
Oh,
That's kind of cool.
so you could just really fuck over someone's day, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, Air Geyser. That's a fun spell.
Oh, what's it do?
It punch somebody up in the air for 2d6 damage and then they fall.
Yikes. How high?
Hurls the target upward a number of feet equal to 5 times your caster level. For you, 25 feet.
Whoa, that's death.
Or at least another like 2d10 damage.
Or that's rocket jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wahoo!
Battering Blast. You hurl a fist-sized ball of force resembling a sphere of spikes to ram a designated creature or object. Oh my god. What the hell is this? Call the Void.
What?
Something a black hole.
This spell surrounds you with an aura of nothingness that channels mysterious energies. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong spell description.
Ah.
An aura of nothingness damages and suffocates creatures adjacent to you. So you make an area of space around you. Like
Whoa. I open up the warp. Inquisitors come through. We all have a bad day.
Diamond spray. Literally send shrapnel full of diamonds at people.
Huh. How nefarious. Cat, what do you want?
Final Sacrifice.
Oh god.
You disrupt the conjuring energies within a summoned creature, causing it to violently explode.
That is awesome.
What?
So you summon a creature, then make it go boom.
Oh,
There's
I
cor-
kinda
it's- yeah,
like
You make
that.
suicide bombers.
Oh, that's so rough.
If the target fails its fortitude save, it is immediately slain, and all creatures within 20 feet of the target take 1d4 points of damage per spell level of the summoning spell. Oh, so it's not that good.
Okay.
It'll only be like 3d4 damage.
Nice.
Fireball! 1d6 damage per level in a 20-foot radius.
Can't
There you
beat
go.
that.
Spot on my screen that I keep thinking is the puck, and it's really fucking confusing me, and I hate it.
AOE forever.
Yeah. Lightning Bolt, electricity deals 1d6 per level damage.
I don't know, I still like that flinging spell a lot.
Yeah, the air geyser.
Yeah, I often think back to that whole stunt with Drake in the cave, like smashing him off the wall and then sitting down and calculating how much fall damage that would take.
Yeah.
What?
The Derringer
Yeah, I'd buy it.
22 tactical.
Buckle out of you, I'd buy it.
The fucking foregrip and the tack light and the red dot sight that's bigger than the gun.
Derringer tactical, man. Can't fuck with that now.
You
only
might
get one
actually be able
shot.
to hit something with it.
Yeah, I know, right? I still think this is the best thing ever. It's old, but I love it.
Yeah, anyway, Kaiser, look at the spells on this list. You get 2 new ones from 3rd level
Oh,
if you
sweet.
want them.
Yeah, I'll look
Yeah,
it
the
up.
catapult that shoots the handguns.
Ugh.
That's the orkiest weapon.
Oh, shit.
Here's some Jimmy wrestling, at least on my part.
What a terrible application.
Car 98 from the Third Reich, original stock.
That breaks me.
The picture of the Tony gun.
Dude, it's a Car 98 from the Third Reich. Like,
No, thank you.
It looks like it's made out of plastic now, though. Did you just paint it blue?
yeah, he straight up just painted it blue,
H-E-I-N.
and that breaks my heart. Although I do want to buy a Rhino. They look retarded, but I want to buy one.
What's a rhino?
For 40K?
It's- No. A Rhino pistol. It's a revolver, but the barrel's on the bottom, rather than the top of the. rather
Oh,
than
so
top
it's
of
like
cylinder.
the Mateba auto revolver.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It doesn't. It kicks weird. It kicks back rather than up because of where the barrel's located.
Interesting.
It's like the gun from Trigun.
That's what a
Yeah.
Mateba auto
Oh,
revolver
is that what
is.
that is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like it.
I just kind of getting like 357. There you go. That's cool.
You just put the 2 little bars on each side of the top and it's the Trigun gun.
Yeah, you're right.
No, stop.
Doing this.
Stop.
NBC Sports. I am so glad my mom set up this online account. This is the best day ever.
What are you watching?
Hockey.
Oh, I didn't know you like hockey. Who's your favorite team?
Pittsburgh.
Nice.
If I ever come to Boston to visit, it's just gonna be havoc.
I would gladly go see hockey with you.
Yes, we have to go to Boston now.
The last time I went to see a hockey game, I was about 5 years old, so I would love to go see another one.
I'm gonna go see one on Friday. Woo!
Oh, lucky.
Dragon Moses with me.
Nice.
Yay!
Oh, you'll enjoy it.
Oh, I know.
The last time
I went to a Hurricanes game with her.
we went to the Penguins Hurricanes game last year too.
Oh, Penguins was the game I went to. I can't remember who they were playing, though.
Oh.
I had a jersey for them for a long, long time. It was far too big for me.
You had a what?
A big old Penguins jersey that I could tuck my knees into.
Where is it? I want it. Can I have it?
It's back home. I probably still have it, but it's
I want
like
it.
from the 80s.
I'll give you $10.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's all I get
High
it for.
roller over here.
That's all I
I'll
get
gi-
it
I'll
for.
give-
That is an
Like-
antique 80s penguin jersey.
Yeah, I will give you 2% of its actual value.
Don't wash it or the patina will come off and ruin its worth as an antique.
God, that thing's probably so coated with salt after so long.
I don't even care.
That's how I like
Oh.
my penguins. Salted.
Covered in
Salty.
salt.
Give them a good lick.
Give me
What kind
one
of
second.
sound do penguins make? I'm like,
Well, when you're licking them, apparently sounds of ecstasy.
Sounds of ecstasy.
dolphin
God.
fucker.
These
Oh, that
rhinos are
rhino's
expensive.
That's a
Yeah,
pretty
I know.
looking gun.
But
I
they're
like
so
it.
cool.
Yeah.
No, what I like about it is it's like the first like advancement in revolver technology since like
Jake,
1890.
are you back? Jake,
What's up?
is there a fireplace in this place?
Yes.
Is there a fire burning?
Smoldering embers of one. It's not really
I'm a-
too cold for fire yet.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a little upset. Leanne bought a 6-hour the other day. Made me very sad
Why is that?
because I didn't get a 6-hour. She did.
Okay,
And
the
it's fucking
soundtrack to what this hockey game is amazing. Like, what are they playing? I love it. Okay, let's see.
Oh wow! I just opened that link from the K98. That's pretty rough.
I would drive to wherever that dude lives and just beat him to death with it.
Well,
Oh,
OP
the
said it's
hello.
too bad the GPS cords were in the EXIF. Found him and killed him for ruining a 70-year-old artifact.
Like I would. Like I'd beat him to death with it.
It's evening, is that right?
Yep. Right now it's probably about 9:30 really. Oh, and
So-
speaking of, although nobody's watching anymore, we actually had a few people watching us earlier, and they left some comments in the chat.
Oh
they
really?
say?
Yeah.
That's good.
They're just commenting about different things. Like whenever I said that somebody bumps in Katya, like they're like, "Oh, check your gold. Like, is the gold missing?" Like and stuff like that.
Oh God! Someone's watching us.
And somebody
That's
was
awesome.
up until we went on break.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget that
Terrifying.
this is actually being streamed.
Uh huh. Okay, so let's get back into it. Katya, yes, there is a fireplace. It's got a very small kind of embers burning.
I mean, but like enough to burn paper.
oh yeah.
Okay, I burn my paper.
Okay. So you're actually kind of sitting in a corner around it, and
Oh.
you small kind of embers. So you don't really. It doesn't really take much for you. Just kind of crumple it up and just not very making a big deal out of it. Just casually toss it in the fireplace. You see it. It's whoosh. The wax burns for a little bit. Ultimately melts, congeals, and is burned.
Explodes. It's really made out of
Does
doom.
not
It turns into an emerald dragon, and life sucks again.
It has explosive runes cast on it.
Currently, my life is a
No
bowl of
difference.
pain, so I don't need any additional pain.
Yeah. So.
We have another 8 days for that.
Yeah.
Yep. So you guys catch that
I'm
This-
going to go to rougher locales. Going
Yeah.
to go to the not so nice household.
the cider holt.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
you guys.
Just going back to the
Dun, dun.
shrine.
The lager,
Okay.
the lager halt.
The fun side of town.
Yeah, you guys kind of make no conversation with anybody else. I guess just kind of decide that you've had your few. Kane, make another check. You're 15 deep.
Kick ass.
God damn, man.
16
Yeah.
still.
Well, with the stacking,
He's got a problem.
with the stacking modifier that you've been, getting increasingly encumbered with, yes, you're fucking smashed.
I'll go out. I'll go and sit out. Just sit out.
Someone just sent me their chemistry homework, and I don't know
Anyways.
why. Like
So-
literally, I just got sent 3 texts of like chemistry homework.
Okay,
Cool.
so
You should grade it. Grade it.
You fail.
to focus on what's going on, Kane is going out onto the dock. Whiston, you see Jethro get up, unsure of himself, kind of walking a little funny. You definitely know what that means, and he's going to meander off into the darkness. Cedric, you are finding yourself to what end of the city now?
I am heading off to locate my charge
Okay.
and check
I'm
in
gonna
on them.
delete this thread.
All right, so let's see here. Which building? I'm going to mark it.
Grade him.
I don't know who that is.
Pretend to be his teacher.
Why is he texting a teacher is the problem.
Might be a
Probably
friend.
not texting a teacher, yeah.
Like, the only kids that have my number are the kids that, like, wrestle for me, so, they can tell me if one of them's dead.
Okay.
And you can promptly ignore it.
All right. So
No.
Kaiser, you head
Come
from
to the hospital.
Havensholdt up towards where the communes are. That's
Okay.
this building right here. It's not the biggest building in town. It's not the most ornate. But it's a solidly constructive wood and stone building. Stone and mortar, not just a solid piece like the Havens Castle's fashioned
Can you point
out
out that building again?
Yeah, it's right here. It's called the Communes.
Oh, I see.
It definitely decked out in all sorts of manner of different natural-looking religious icons, sigils, and kind of opposed to the normal temple of the humans. This one actually has bunches of different grasses, mosses growing up the sides of the building. So it definitely looks like they really tried to play up the whole in tune with nature kind of thing. There's a few trees around it, whereas the rest of the area around it is this beaten down, gravelly, brown dirt path. And but there's actually a nice little oasis of greenery right here next to surrounding the communes.
Cedric approves. He is in favor of the use of pastiche in modern architectural paradigms.
The what?
Don't worry about yourself, Jethro. You're drunk. All right, so you head up there. You immediately notice this place is a hub of activity. There's probably about 30 people here, all said and done, in various forms of milling about. There's a few kids playing in front. There's some kids watching them sitting on the side.
Oh, how late is it?
It's like 9-ish, but I mean, literally, like they're playing like 5 feet in front of the door.
I thought it was much later than it actually was.
No.
Started.
Well, I also took off before you guys did.
Yeah. So he's, you kind of see a small smattering of people. The kids are really the only ones kind of seem to be having a good time, and that's just because they just simply don't understand the situation.
They don't give a shit.
Yep. You notice a few other people that you can identify as shrine souls dressed similarly in robes to Ball, and there's definitely some lights on, a few torches placed around the building, and you can. There's a large oaken double door up front with iron rings, and actually one's just open.
Okay. Well, I mean, I came in here a little earlier, so
Okay.
I assume I'm probably pretty comfortable with it. I'll go in and see if I can track down the kid.
Okay.
What was his name again? I need to write that down.
Let's see. I don't remember if I actually ever told you that. I think I've got it written down as well. Let me double check.
Well, we're just going to call him the kid.
Just call him the kid.
Tobin.
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 There you
Name's
go.
That's
Tobin.
it.
I wrote it down because I'm just that good.
Because you're a responsible person.
I'm a
Right.
responsible child caring for adult. That's what I'm doing here. Caring about others.
Yeah,
Let me make sure I got that written down. Tobin. Air
Remember
quotes,
to, you
winch.
gotta remember to feed him and walk him.
I gotta steal his poops from the box when he puts them there.
Yeah.
Why are you stealing my poops?
That's why I always tell Quentin when it comes time to clean her litter box, come to steal your poops.
Steal your poops.
She's just like, you asshole. It smelled like I wanted it to smell.
Alright. So you go up there. You kind of meekly ask a shrine soul, if he knows where Tobin is. And he's going to say, one of the young lads, would he not be outside playing with the other kids?
Did I see him out there?
No.
No, I don't believe so. He's had a bit of a rough time recently.
Haven't all these poor souls. He's going to say, come, I'll help you find him. And he's going to kind of take you on a bit of a tour. Inside is a main plaza that is made out of
This is where we process all the orphans.
This is where we make the corpse starch.
And it's kind of a nice plaza. It's got like a nice little fountain in the middle of it. It's made out of a lot of like natural marble and things like that. These not really common building materials around here. Inside, lush with greenery as well. You see, it's got a vaulted ceiling that goes up about 40 feet high, and there's actually trees growing inside here as well. Very well manicured and taken care of. But it's a bit odd. This is probably the only building in Havensholdt that has a tree inside of it.
Cedric nods and mumbles something about postmodernism.
There's ivy wrapping up the granite columns that extend to the ceiling, holding it all up. In the side rooms.
I'm trying to play up my 9 in architecture.
As you kind of come into one of the side rooms, excuse me, it kind of opens up into what looks like what used to be a storage area, but has since been repurposed into emergency dormitories.
Oh, I thought you were going to say emergency pillow fort.
Emergency pillow fort.
More or less.
So, I just had a really funny mental image of somebody like telling the president that there's a nuke on its way to America, and there he's like, "Get me to Pillow Fort 1."
Yeah, he just like builds he takes the cushions off the sofa in the Oval Office and just builds something out and puts a blanket over top. He drapes the American flag over top.
It's got like a 50-foot flagpole sticking out of a pillow fort.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Those
Anyways.
communist bastards won't get me here.
Oh, you
And
did
you
like
broke
the
her.
50s voice.
Talk. Yeah, you broke them. Good job. Yep, she's gone.
Okay, I'm done.
Really? You sure?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
So, you see bunches of small pallets, various different small cots and what kind of passes for mattresses around here, laid out in old but sturdy-looking bed frames. There's a number of people. Some of the older people are already in bed. There's, the stereotypical hacking, poor wheezing, a little bit of moaning. The atmosphere is depressing, and you're gonna kind of
dying.
everybody I loved is dead. There's gentle weeping, and as you kind of pass these people, mill around them, they're being given warm drinks. They're being given food. It's hearty but simple. It's like a beef stew with, it's like a meat stew with bread. Generous portions, of course. And, they've
The
got
ogres
drink.
made my neighbor into a meat stew. This is my trigger.
You're derailing pretty
God.
hard, bro.
God damn it, Moses. Quit being so fucking charming.
Twitter jokes will always do it for me.
So,
Wow. He went-
so you got a bunch of people doing that. There's a few shrine souls passing back and forth. And as you're kind of leading through the bunks, you see up on one of the top bunks, kind of in the corner at the end of the row, a small little figure kind of huddled into the corner with his back to the world.
You said it was
The world
on top
turned his
of
back
the
on
bunk?
him.
What'd you say,
Deep.
Cedric?
Oh goodness! You say it was on top of a bunk bed?
Yeah, he's on the top bunk. They're actually fairly tall, so you can just kind of like see him a little bit, but it's not at like your eye level. There's a small little step ladder on the side, and he's kind of cuddled up into the corner as he can get.
Okay. Cedric will kind of wordlessly climb up there too, and if he doesn't wake up, just kind of lay down beside him and stare up at the ceiling, and put his hands behind his back.
The shrine soul that was escorting you is going to be like, I suppose you kind of meander off to go bring water to more people.
Okay.
So the sounds of despair kind of weigh heavily upon the room, and it takes a minute or two before you register any movement out of Tobin here. He turns around, and he's holding his face in his hands. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He's gonna kind of like, you're gonna feel him slowly, move and turn over, and you're gonna hear him kind of, and you're gonna feel the familiar tug on your sleeve.
Aw.
But he's really not gonna kind of say anything. He's just gonna mind his own, well, not mind his own business, but he's gonna stay relatively quiet right there.
Okay. Cedric will kind of slip an arm around him and let him rest up against his shoulder and continue gazing upward, thinking. I'm actually researching something for him that he's gonna do in reaction to coming here. So he's not just doing nothing, but
Okay. So I'll come back to you then, right?
thinking magical thoughts. No, I'm good. I'm good until morning, really.
Okay, so you don't really have anything else you wanted to do?
No, he'll just stay there and comfort the kid.
Okay. Anybody else wanted to do anything in particular?
Going back to the commune, talking with the mystic of the shrine.
You head back, and the mystic is there. He's obviously got his hands quite full organizing all of this. And whenever you catch up with him, he's actually busy helping out. He's making some of this beef stew that they're handing out to people with a few other shrine souls. I think there's like four total. And he's the one kind of manning the giant pot. It's like a 50-gallon pot. And whenever you come in, he's gonna say, Whiston, I'm glad or Whiston, Ball, I'm glad you came. Good work. You've secured quite a generous donation for our cause.
Excellent. I'm glad.
He's like,
Go ahead.
he's gonna say, I assume that you have heard from your new employer?
Yes, I have.
Excellent. His donation was much appreciated as well.
Oh, excellent.
The commune will be able to offer much aid to these people throughout the coming weeks.
Okay. I do want to speak with him if he gets a moment in private.
Yep, he's gonna kind of like look down at his pot, give it a big generous stir, and say, "That needs to simmer for a while anyway. What ails you, my son?" And he's gonna kind of shepherd you. It takes a minute, but he's actually gonna lead you to his private office. This office is very well furnished. It's actually got a oaken floor, very well made furniture. Lots of greenery in here as well. A few exotic plants. Some kind of fern. More a few bushes, more of kind of like the palm nature than just the deciduous around here. The office is gonna always have a very fresh wood smell. I really haven't figured out what causes that yet, but it's got this very natural, earthy, wooden smell. It smells almost like cedar. It's got lots of books adorning a very elaborately carved bookshelf, and he's actually got a few windows in the back, which you also
Well, we
know
know
are
where all
fairly
the
rare.
fucking donation money is going.
Yeah, you
Guy's
are
a piece of shit.
you are yeah you know that you are one of the few buildings in Havensholdt, aside from the castle and perhaps a few others, that are lucky enough to have actual glass panes. So he's going to invite you into the office. He's going to sit behind this this carved masonry desk, and he's going to there's a giant sigil of the communes carved right into the surface of it, layered over with some form of sealant or
Lacquer or some sort.
yeah, some kind of lacquer, so it appears flat, although it's carved at the same time. And he's gonna sit in his chair, and he's gonna take off his rather large, heavy sigil of the religion and put it down. He's gonna stretch his neck. You know they get a little heavy, and he's gonna say, "Please speak your mind, son."
So I give him a rundown of my meeting with all of our meetings with the lords and their plans. and then tell him that I've discussed it with the other individuals in my boss's party, and we're thinking that we're going to be doing, the hit and run guerrilla style tactics to help with the situation. But I have noticed that a number of the individuals are, or really just one, is very wary of any kind of magic, arcane, spiritual nature. So I was just wondering if he had any rules or anything for me when I am with the party.
He's gonna look at you and he's gonna digest all this. It's gonna process. He's gonna actually kind of pick up his sigil and kind of rub it as he's kind of doing so. Just kind of almost like a just a little tick, to fiddle with something while he's reviewing in his head what you've told him. It takes him a good minute or two to really kind of come up with anything to say. He's gonna.
Or before that, I'll also state that he knows that my particular gift can be a bit off-putting to people.
He's gonna say, Ball, most people aren't ready. He's gonna say most people in this area are not ready for the type of gift that you have been bestowed with. The news of an open campaign is indeed troubling. I wish not for any man to lose his life, but be it may that the Havens has to protect his hold. The temple will be there to provide all the support it can for any of the refugees. He's going to say, I grow worried that the length of a campaign of the nature that you've described might be a bit long for the act of charity we're being recompensed for. He's going to say, perhaps you may, and he's going to kind of give you a sly smile and say, persuade them to a more quicker option, one that resolves in less span of time. He's going to say, this is war and lives are lost either way, but it would be best to be over.
That's very true, and we do have the option for leading a straight assault. The only problem with that is I know that my particular set of gifts would be more suited towards taking this a little bit more cautiously. Just from the stories that they have told me, they've had a hell of a time dealing with these things that they come up against, and me being there to help them, persevere, really, in these situations would be great, but on an open battlefield, that effect would be minimized greatly.
He's going to say, I understand, but also understand that the fate of this valley doesn't rest squarely upon your shoulders. You can only do so much. We can all only do so much with the resources that were given.
Did he just sniff a coin or some shit? What the fuck just happened?
Yeah, he just rolled up some dollar bills,
Just
chopped them up finally.
sniffed him through another dollar bill.
Just out of character, this guy's greedy as fuck. God.
Seriously, fuck this guy. Oh my god.
So,
Douche.
yes, Ball, this guy, you know that he has a taste for some of the finer things in life, some of the finer decorum and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you are aware that he
nobody has
does.
anything.
Yeah, but you are aware that he does actually take care of the people around him. Nobody's starving in his presence.
Right.
So, and he's been usually a fairly decent mystic as far as you've had. You might have had a few of them. He's got a few proclivities, but nothing that overtly makes him such a terrible person that you feel inclined to disobey him.
Right.
He's in good standing with you, I would say. He hasn't treated you in a point where you would say no. Or
Right,
he hasn't
yeah.
treated anybody else that way. He just tends to
Definitely.
benefit from helping everybody else a little bit more.
Right, but from my perspective, I am more of the charity for charity's sake without getting any kind of recompense, really.
Yep.
So
And
since
he's
awkward to
altruistic,
me.
but not stupid.
Right. I do want to mention that while the campaign is going on, or after the campaign is done, depending on how long it takes, if we do go the guerrilla route, since it is 4 people to 1 basically arguing for a more quicker approach, I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to talk the lords into donating a hefty sum once the campaign is over, once they see the Shrine Soul in action in the campaign.
He's going to say, I would make no hesitation to assume Lord Havens would be very aware of the commune's involvement in his campaign and its dedication to his cause, and what that means for the communes. He's going to say, try it, do your best, but
All right.
remember, these are very skeptical people, and by that he totally mean, like, you know without a doubt, he means humans. He's orc,
Mhm.
by the way. Sorry.
Mhm.
But he means humans, through and through. And he's going to say, perhaps reserve the more eccentric of your gifts to when they're absolutely needed.
Understandable, and will do.
He's going to say, remember, although you are gifted with great power, they are limited. He's going to say they are limited by the circadian cycle of the realm. He's going to say, so I have a strong appreciation for where your heart is at and your enthusiasm to rise to do good. He's going to say, that will carry you far, my son. He's going to say, is there anything else I can aid you with? I believe my stew might be done.
I tell him no, that's all, and thank him graciously.
He thanks you graciously. He dons his amulet again, weighs heavily upon the shoulders, and he's going to go back out, and you're going to hear him don an apron and go back, and there's a few clangs as he's mixing his pot.
Okay. And then, let's see. How do you type a private message?
You slash W space whoever. Yeah, if it's to me, it'd be GM space whatever the message is. Okay. Anybody else? Wiston?
Okay.
Wisdom's gonna follow Jethro to make sure Jethro gets to a bed okay.
Jethro
Without
heads
dying.
out onto the docks. He actually takes a few steps, and he looks like he's about to go into the water. Make an acrobatics check.
Well, I'll make a dexterity save or acrobatics check or something to grab him by the belt and pull him away from the edge.
Absolutely.
You want a save or a what?
Give me a. I don't know. Either or. Give me an acrobatics. Acrobatics.
Clerics have all the spells I want.
Like healing.
Well, no, more so I wanted to make a bunch of food for these guys.
Yeah. They're being well fed.
Okay. I got a 15.
Okay. So, Jethro, you are unaware that your course was anything other than straight until Wiston pops up underneath your arm, propping you up.
Hey, okay, let's not fall into the river there, buddy. Why don't we get you? Oh, gods are heavy.
Nah. I don't
Why don't
wanna-
we get you to a bed or something? Why don't we get you back to
why
Hillshold?
don't you fuck off?
No, we can't do that right now.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Something about it showed malfunction. I don't really know.
Alright. Okay.
You want to take a nap? You want to take a nap? You look like you use a nap.
No. Leave me alone. Just let me sit here.
All right, we can sit for a moment. We can sit. Yeah, because I'm about to fall over too. Jesus Christ, you're heavy.
So you get him plonked down, and you hear a faint kind of sploosh, and you notice that his feet kind of are hanging off the edge of the dock and into the water, but it is whatever at this point. And as you kind of do so, the partially cloudy skies kind of clear, and it's an exceptionally bright, well-lit moon with a large amount of stars in the sky. There's a peaceful serenity to it with just the dark, dark, dark blue and black sky, thousands upon thousands of stars and great clarity, as well as the large luminescent moon overhead. You guys actually have a shadow from the moonlight. That's how nice out it is right now.
Oh, it's a romantic night on the docks.
I'm not gonna make out with you, Jethro.
Wouldn't want you to.
We're not in weeaboo bullshit yet.
Yep. So you just kind of like,
Huh.
I failed. Yep.
How you figure?
You just gonna turn and stare at him.
I just don't see how it was a failure on your part.
Okay. You're lucky.
I've never considered myself particularly unlucky, but not really,
You have nothing
not
holding
really
you
fortunate.
here. You have nothing holding you here. You could just walk away.
I could, but then
Just go.
But then my mom has nothing, and who's gonna keep you from falling into the river on your drunk ass?
I can float.
I've seen you swim, Jethro.
Ooh, dig.
Yeah, I've also seen you fall off bridges.
That's
You're better at that than I am.
Somebody's stick broke. That's funny.
You're a good guy. I'm glad. I'm glad John's told me to watch over you. And then he'll just kind of slowly pass out.
You see him slowly slump back, and then like the
Clunk.
last foot, it goes limp, and he just drops in his. You hear the thud as his head like bounces off the dock a few times.
Whew. I look at the big mountain of a man that is Jethro, and he's like, I need to go get Katya to help me with this.
Why me?
Because you have a strength of 16. I have a strength of 10. You're the
Yep.
burliest person I know other than Jethro.
Jethro's burly as fuck. Anyway, so yeah, I'll wait till the next day.
Okay. I imagine you two haul him back upstairs. Anything else you wanted to do in particular, Wiston?
You're probably built like Ronda Rousey or something.
That's a terrifying human being.
Yeah. So, Cedric, you're going to be there kind of like minding your own business, staring off into infinity, and you're actually going to, you may not notice it, but Ball is actually going to be like come walking through after his conversation. And Ball, you're going to notice Cedric up there in the bunk with a young kid kind of wrapped around his arm.
Oh, did we ever figure out what happened with Cedric and Yama?
We'll play that up in a second.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I whisper up to Cedric. Cedric, is it not?
And he'll glance over the side.
I'm here to eat you.
Weren't you from the I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
The name's Ball. I have
Yes,
been put under the employ of your party member. I think his name's Jethro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, he's a very interesting character. A lot of things have happened to him of late.
A lot of anger there.
Yeah.
A lot of repressed emotions.
Yeah.
But I was wondering
Bad
if you
things
would...
seem to follow him, or maybe it's the other way around.
Aww.
So sad. But I was wondering if you would care to take a quick walk. Definitely don't want to leave your young ward here for too long by himself.
He'll look over to the kid. Is he asleep?
The kid is asleep.
Okay, he will extract himself with his superior squirming skills.
And the kid is gonna make a very pretty good reflexive like kind of cling on but you're able to slime on out of the grip.
Yep, he's a good slimer, and so he'll slip down the side of the bed and
Leaving a
wordlessly
slug
come
trail
abreast.
on everything.
Slime trail. He's got his shell on his back. He just sort of squibbles after you guys.
I think Cedric would be happy if he could retreat into a shell
Man.
whenever he wanted to.
No, he totally would be. Like, as a snail, that's his power animal. When he goes into his power cave, it's a snail.
Instead of slide, it's squirm.
Yeah. Slime.
You're gonna learn greater polymorph just to turn into a snail, aren't you?
You know, I have been looking through the spell list, although I have focused on Mage's Fabulous Mansion.
Oh, nice.
Alright, so
Did
you
know
guys...
you get 2 servants per caster level?
Really?
Yeah.
So you guys head outside, and you guys come out into this beautiful open night sky, full moon, thousands of stars. It's
Drunk Jethro.
there's
So
you hear
beautiful.
some like people herniating down on the dock. And
That sure is a vocab word.
And it's a very serene sight. One of the few times the natural beauty of the world presents itself with no open hostility.
Just you wait. Soon there'll be grifts on the periphery. Oh,
Oh.
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 Oh, they're so majestic. Oh.
I make a comment to Cedric about the beauty of the night sky and whatnot.
He looks up and he says, "Oh yes, it's it's quite beautiful. It doesn't look like there's any grifts about, so that's nice."
That actually happens. Like he drops something and it breaks on the ground.
It looks like the altar constellation is in its primary position. Huh. Like he starts just vaguely wandering off, and not like physically, just sort of like
Give me
musing on those.
Give me a knowledge nature.
Sure.
I'm just gonna hit in the face with a
19.
puck.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Cedric amazes you with pretty accurate namings of almost all of the constellations in the sky. Not just the major, but also most of the minors. And
That's Orion's dick right there.
it's Orion's Whiston.
I didn't know Ryan had a chode.
It's because they're really close to each other.
Hashtag Whiston means chode.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Winston, that's who you're talking about. Yeah.
It's a new name of the feed.
I remark on his amazing ability to name all the constellations and say, like, that's not something the normal person
Are
usually
you
knows much
kidding on
about.
Cedric?
He laughs and he's like,
No.
yeah, I'm pretty lonely.
Understandable. The night sky can be something to provide great comfort to people who are alone in this world. I know a little bit about that.
Yeah, he actually pauses and he's like, yeah, you're right.
You guys
I'm sorry
gonna
to
go
hear that.
you guys gonna go to a Simple Plan concert next? Is that the plan?
Obviously.
Welcome to my life.
I don't know, but both of them kind of stumbled across a common thread of destiny that they all kind of shared in common there.
Yeah, a little bit.
The redundancy department of redundancy called. They want my GMing back.
I mentioned that it seems like he has found a young ward of some sort. Where did you end up finding him? You seem to take great care of him.
You're not gonna eat him. I'll take him.
I'm sure he's delicious.
Beef stew isn't free.
His name is Tobin. He I met him back at the caves, and it seems he doesn't have parents. And there's just, I don't know. You ever meet someone and it feels like you've known them a really long time, and you just kind of like, you have the same laugh, and your hair kind of parts the same way.
He does
It's
look
kinda
a lot
weird.
like you.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. And so I'm keeping an eye on him because
Casey
So-
tries to kill me and replace me.
Damn it, internal Whiston monologue. Why you always gotta remind me of the worst?
That's whenever Moses speaks up, just assume that's canon, and that's Whiston rubbing off.
Well, that's very sweet of you.
He seems like a good kid.
Yeah, I did have a couple of questions for you about the party that you're traveling with, because I have noticed, I'm kind of in tune with these things,
Or
that
nosy, depending.
It's
Either or.
therapist,
Everybody's
so
a bit of a dick, and I'm not sure if I can handle that long.
it's like that's actually where I was going. It's like
He's got a very
everybody,
calming therapist orc voice.
yeah.
So, how you feel about your parents?
I'm lonely too when I look up at the night sky, but it makes me feel better because it's the same moon that you're looking at.
You know what makes me feel better when I'm stressed out? I just take my big double-handed axe and just cleave some skulls.
Try it.
I liberate some brains.
Just makes me feel better, I swear.
I feel so alive.
I'll prescribe some blood of your enemies.
Take
Oh.
take 2 skulls a day and
feel
call me in the
sad.
morning.
I just gotta go down to my happy place under the bridge, and then I take tolls.
I think
Okay.
that's trolls usually.
On
Yeah,
point. On
Okay,
point.
sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh shit, where was I? Yeah, everybody seems to be
Derailed.
insanely morose about everything. I can understand Jethro. He had a shit time of it. But even Winston,
Winston.
Whiston.
that's what I said, Winston.
Winston.
No N. There's no N.
No N.
Gotcha. Winston. He is apparently y'all have been dealing with a lot of interesting magical phenomena, and it has completely weirded him out so much that he is very standoffish to me.
Saying that Whiston is weirded out by dealing with magical phenomena would, I imagine, weigh a little heavily upon somebody who actually is magical.
Yeah.
Right.
This is yeah, that's a pretty apt observation. I'm not saying that. He's not saying that, but well, you see, Whiston also has to kind of directly deal with Jeffro. And I'm not really so good at navigating these things, but from where I stand, that seems like kind of a full-time job sometimes. And
I love how I'm not the responsible one.
but among other things, it has been a rough going. We have all seen some pretty horrible stuff. So
Out chuckle there.
yeah, this is, like whenever he does that, he kind of stares off into the mid-distance and then stops and falls silent for like 3 seconds. And then yeah, so
And then you're like, I met a child molester.
yeah. He almost touched me. No. No, it's been a pretty bad month for everyone. I think Jeffro takes it hardest because he's sort of assumed responsibility for the group, and Whiston is very close with him, so it's a shared burden.
Yeah, it kind of rubs off on it.
Mm.
Well, I was just really asking because I know we're going to be working together in the near future. And I've noticed that you happen to have some magical talent.
Okay. Some.
I would actually like to point this out that Wiston, you never told him that you were magical, so how he kind of knows is a bit of a mystery.
Wiston has grown up kind of used to other people Cedric, sorry. Cedric's grown up used to other people noticing things about him that he would rather them not notice. So he probably wouldn't think that too strange. Other people have been able to figure out that he's a wizard when he didn't want them to. He probably figures the party told him to, if he's working with us. Cedric's not a very socially smart person.
Carry on.
Okay. So I was just wondering, like, being a shrine soul here, we are astute in the ways of certain types of magic.
Oh?
Yeah, some of us are, at least.
Have I heard of that term before?
You
Probably while I think.
You are familiar that the communes claim to have some, beyond human or beyond orcish connection to powers greater than themselves. That's kind of a claim that people pass around, but they're not really shooting magical spells into the air.
So I'd probably find them a little dubious, I think. But then again, I've seen a lot of strange shit recently, so...
I mean, we
It's
are
really
very
hard to
astute
say.
at healing and things like that, so some people wonder about us. But anyway, I was just wondering, like, how the party has reacted to being in close proximity to, magic of any type.
Oh,
Badly.
well,
Speak for yourself.
we've been in contact with magic of many types, and not all of it's been good. But whenever I think they're so used to getting really kind of, bent over by the worst kinds that they welcome the good kinds when it comes along.
I nod solemnly and turn my head slightly and whisper to myself, it's like, that's good to know, we'll have to keep that in mind.
Oh, Cedric, make a perception.
Yeah. Doing it. This guy's like, out of character, all kinds of alarm bells. Whoa. What the fuck?
God dang.
Why
Jesus.
tonight?
Nice.
Why now?
Oh,
God damn it.
God.
The one time you're not in danger, so you're just rolling like crazy. It makes any sense.
Fuck you. Get fucked. Okay. So I roll a 20 fucking 4. It's just my goddamn luck.
Yeah,
Jig
I was
is
hoping
up.
we could get through this whole thing without it, but
Here, while he's writing that, Moses, what did you think of the like reposition? I'm trying to do the line art thing before it, but good call. Yay,
Are
nay.
you talking about the
Comic bit.
yeah? Can you relink it? Because I've gotten that's been buried under tons and tons of messages.
Oh, it was to you aside on
Okay, let me check.
uh
Are you talking about the color one you just sent me?
Okay.
yeah, second panel.
Terry. I sent you guys the messages.
yep.
Huh.
God damn it!
Interesting. Could I do any checks on that to figure out what that could be?
You can attempt to make a very quick Arcana check. In the space
Sure
of.
can.
God.
Fuck.
Wow.
Fuck.
I'm so angry.
Yeah, I was too. This is some bullshit.
Like we never roll this well during combat, like ever.
Ever.
But it's happening in
Ever.
just conversation.
Yeah. No, yeah. Not even like vital NPC conversation either.
What did
Just
you-
which intrigue is cool. I'm all for inner character intrigue.
What did you
But this is-
change in the second panel?
Leg rubbing his other leg.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
All right. Then.
It's a decent bit of acting to get you to think that he's nervous.
Yeah.
Not really sure what he's doing.
Oh, was your much better in response to the color shift?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Huh. Okay. I might have to check that out later on the side then.
Okay. So he kind of whispers over his shoulder, in kind of just a loose, goofy, almost unstable fashion. And you know that the communes are known for having eclectic characters among their shrine souls.
Yeah.
And,
Crazy hippies.
So that kind of happens, and he kind of looks back at you.
Cedric chuckles nervously and does that sort of weird half smile where you see his two long teeth. They're all kind of not perfectly aligned.
I chuckle a big smile or chuckle and with a big smile I say, well, I do look forward to working with you all in the future as soon as we head out on whatever path we choose to take.
Same to you, good sir.
Stick out my hand. First shake.
He'll take it, shake it, bake it.
All right, so he gives you the parting, salutations and handshake. And Cedric, as you're kind of going back in to check on Tobin, that really friendly shrine soul that was there earlier, kind of catches you about halfway to the bunk. And he's gonna say, "Oh, excuse me.
Yes,
You are this young man's guardian?"
I am.
He's gonna say, "I found his drawing earlier. I'm sure he would love to have it back." And he's gonna give you a piece of paper, and on it is going to be a rune that you go ahead and make a knowledge arcana check.
Hold on, my cat's biting my ass. Okay.
Is that like a metaphor, or is that
No, like
is that the proverbial "I'm about to screw the pooch" as the cat's biting my ass?
no, like I got home and it was really hot, so I took my pants off and I'm laying on my bed, and the cat just ran over to the bed, like clawed her way under my legs and started biting and clawing my ass, like literally.
Okay, I guess we all get to play pantsless D&D now. So,
All right.
Folks.
There we go.
Arcana check.
yep.
Okay.
You notice that it is you've seen it before. In fact, you've seen it quite a bit. In fact, you've studied it quite a bit. And you recognize it as one of the runes off of both Cedric and Wyston's blade. Or not Cedric. Jethro and Wyston's blades.
That he shouldn't have been able to see. Interesting. Okay, I take the paper and I look to the lady and I
Also on the
nod.
paper is like a crude stick figure of a tall guy with long brown hair holding hands with a small guy with short brown hair.
Aw.
Goddamn. I'm really gonna be mad at you when he dies.
Don't let him die.
Don't
You
roll
don't give
one.
you don't give a MacGuffin like this to someone and make them care about them without the intention of ripping them away when they're most vulnerable and lone.
Well, I already did it to Kane, so I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of got my
have you-
kick
Are
Yeah,
you
thanks for
saying
that.
you've had your fill?
for now.
I'm glad I can help.
Stop.
All right.
Oh.
He's gonna say the Shrine Soul's gonna smile like a sweet smile, and he's gonna tell you he loves kids, and he's gonna be
As much as I love kids.
such a passionate young little artist. He's gonna say it's quite complex. I couldn't even make out what it was. He wouldn't tell me, but poor little guy was probably just shy and frightened over the new environment.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
And-
He'll carefully shuffle it into his book.
All right, so you go back up on the bunk, make yourself cozy. It's actually pretty private. Now you see why Tobin came up here.
Yeah.
And, the kids, after about 30 minutes, the kid's going to kind of roll over in his sleep, bump into you, and just kind of sleep with his forehead and all his hair just all messed up, all pressed against you.
No. He'll pull the blanket up over him and oh man, I can't remember if I probably didn't have my mom in the picture for very long. And he probably never got a good night from anyone.
Yeah.
But he'll give him the good night that he always wanted.
Aw.
There you go. So, Cedric has a family. Yay, Cedric.
Yay!
Don't
At least
lose it.
something's good happening.
Well, you
Something
have
good
other
is
family,
happening
but
to
they're not
someone.
going to live very long.
It's
Well,
okay.
yeah, that depends on how drunk Jethro is whenever he finally gets to your dad.
Oh boy.
By the way, that guy's name is Doran. Doran Winch.
Doran
Uh-oh.
Winch.
Doran Winch.
Doran Winch.
Doran Winch.
Sounds
Winch. Like a bar winch.
No, W-I-N-C-H. Winch
Oh,
like
dear.
a mechanical winch.
I can't remember. Did I tell him like what my relationship with the dad was or something?
Yeah, you kind of let that bomb go.
Oh, oops.
Yeah, you said something about the fact that he beat you or something like that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You're like, remember when I came home late and my dad beat
Oh
me?
yeah. Yeah, that's right. Whenever we were all telling him the old story.
and Whiston and Jethro locked eyes and had a silent nod.
Oh god. It's like
Yeah.
the end of shit, Rick and Morty when they start
Yeah.
pumping juice.
That's exactly what you said last time,
Yeah.
too.
It's okay, I never have any original thoughts.
It's just funny that that's exactly where you went the last time we said.
They're
At
pretty
least you're consistently ripping the same thing off.
yeah. I'm nothing
Alright.
if not consistent.
Alright, so the next day is gonna come, and let us see what the weather is like. A 6. It is, let's see, it's
The
what?
perfect 6 outside.
It's scattered showers, coming and going.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yay!
So,
Fucking
anything
elves.
in particular you guys want to do?
Play in the rain. Play in the rain.
I'm actually going to wake up super hungover and be very upset.
Okay.
Whenever I wake up, I'm going to assist whoever's managing this commune with looking after everyone.
Okay. Ball, I imagine you're staying at the living quarters in the commune as well. It's kind of where you live.
Winston came in late that night and stumbled in there because he heard there was a free room. So he's passed out on one of the. He's passed out on one of the waiting room love seats, just right by the door. He didn't make it very far.
Yeah.
Cedric will find him and put him in a bed.
Yeah, there's Cedric. You kind of wake up the earliest because you're the most responsible, and you're up before the kid. Kind of walking around sheepishly, seeing that people just kind of sleeping hunched all over each other. You notice a familiar green streak that doesn't look like plants, kind of adorning this. It's not even a love seat. It's just kind of an armchair, and Winston has somehow managed to drape himself over both arms. He's got his head sitting in one planter and his feet kind of kicked up into another as the torso of his body is held up by the arms of this chair. And someone was nice enough to kind of toss a burlap sap over him whenever they walked by.
Oh. Cedric will heft him up. He's actually fairly strong. Let me double
You're stronger
check.
than I am.
Yeah. He's surprisingly strong because all of Cedric's luck came in his character creation phase. Yeah, he's got a strength of 14. So he'll heft him up and find a bed for him.
All right, Winston, you feel someone hefting you up.
Wait, Jethro, put me down. I'm not done sleeping yet. Ugh.
He'll more or less ignore him. He knows how drunk people are, and he'll take him to a bed.
I'm not
Get him
drunk.
settled.
You should have just left him on the floor. Serves him right.
No, he's nice to me.
So he, you get him to a bed. I imagine Whiston. will
I'm
wake
like
up.
talking in my sleep. It's like, and he's just like, Jethro, watch out for the guy with the creepy eyes. He's got some kind of invisible buddy.
Hmm.
And Cedric's just sitting there looking down at him like, that's not ominous. Here, have a blanket.
Here, have a blanket.
Like, I think I met your buddy.
Yeah.
But he'll put a blanket over him and kind of quietly think on that. And if there's no other duties, he might go see the wizard again and ask him some questions about that.
Okay. So you are going to head your way over to Yama. Katya, Ball, was there anything you guys wanted to do?
This is the morning?
Yes.
Is it raining?
Right now, yes. And
Going
it'll...
outside.
Okay.
Going outside.
Okay, you go outside.
Stand in the rain and like be in nature.
Where'd you bed down? There's a free room at the communes, or you could pay for one down at Havensholdt.
The free room. Why would I need to pay for a room when there's a free room?
Okay, so you head outside. It's actually kind of a nice, a bit of a nice reprieve. There's a few puddles for you to splash in, some nice rain. You
I'm
notice
lifestyle.
that you notice that the architecture of the building is designed with slopes and grooves and
It's like the Hundertwasser house. Hold on, let me look it up for you.
yeah.
I was like, you're saying things I don't understand.
And you notice that all the roof spaces are engineered to funnel water past all the greenery on this building. It's actually quite ingenious. And
Fucking sweet architecture, bro.
So, Cedric, as you're leaving, you kind of see Katya just like staring up into the rain like a turkey.
He'll kind of look at that quietly, like his mouth is gaping ever so slightly, and he'll nod like this is pretty much exactly what he was expecting, and then continue walking. Huh.
So, Katya, you see Whiston, or not Whiston, Cedric making his way to who knows where.
Whiston is just going somewhere?
No, Cedric.
Cedric is just wandering?
Yeah, he wanders off. It's real early in the mornings. It's raining. You're
Is he being
outside.
sketchy about it?
Nah, he's not being more or less shy than he normally is.
Oh, okay then. No. I want to follow.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm just gonna follow.
Okay.
Be like, hey, where you going?
I'm going to speak with, oh goodness, Yama. I'm going to speak with Yama.
Yama. Have fun with that. I'm just gonna turn around and not,
Not interested.
just not interested. Yama seems like kind of a dick.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life right now. This rain is very refreshing.
It is quite nice. And Yama's not so bad.
So Whiston's in there. Is he like passed out from being drunk?
He's just sleeping now.
I would like to go be a mischievous half elf and draw all over his face.
Whiston perception? No, Katya stealth. Whiston, what's your perception?
My perception is +9.
+9? Okay. You totally feel funny things tracing along your face. You wake up and you see Katya sitting right in front of you with an inked feather. And she kind of looks a little surprised that you woke up because she thought she was being sneakier than she was.
Opportune parry and riposte.
Go for it. Do it.
How do I make the move to turn the feather and tickle him under his arms?
Shipping.
What do I use for that?
Commencing.
I want to see what he rolls first.
Didn't roll anything. Nothing showed up.
I haven't rolled anything yet.
Oh.
Jesus
there you
Christ.
Yeah, you ain't
You're
stopping that
super
shit.
parried!
Yeah,
Feather flies!
he makes a quick, his eyes are barely open when a hand shoots out from under the covers and in one swift motion, it grabs the pen and puts the tip right against your forehead. And Winston, you've got about a second to draw something before she.
You just draw a dick.
But
like,
no, you only have a second. You can't draw a dick in a second.
I can draw a
You
dick.
can.
You can
could
with
draw
a
it.
31.
dude, Moses, get a piece
Show
of
me.
paper
1
and
second.
a pencil and
One.
prove wrong.
It's done. That was like 3 seconds, dude.
No, it wasn't. That
Do
was
it.
less than
Okay.
You gotta go 1 Mississippi. Ready?
1 Mississippi. No. This looks like half of a butterfly. This is half of a butterfly.
Hey, hang on a second.
No, you can't do it
Draw a dick
again.
in a second, your game
Okay.
is beat.
With a 31, he can.
Jake said 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot I drew a naked woman on this page earlier. That's weird.
I drew a whole naked woman in a second.
Why is there a naked lady on this page?
I think I was doing a gesture drawing as like a sketch break or something.
What are
Okay.
you doing?
All right, Moses, give me
Oh,
a
my-
rough little sketch on the Havensholdt page, just with the thing.
Okay.
You can't make it look nicer than it was.
I wasn't gonna draw a dick. I was gonna draw something funny.
Oh,
Other than well, I don't know.
you get about halfway done with something that you think would be fucking hilarious, and you realize that she's fixing you with the venomous stare of, you know.
So I get like this far, and I'm just like, then I continue, and it's like,
Now you don't care if she's aware. You're just gonna wait for her to slap your hand away.
oh, it doesn't draw in. So yeah, I get like that far, and then I see your eyes. It's like
I don't. Are you drawing it like on the thing? 'Cause I
Yes.
don't see anything.
I
this.
the one on the bottom right here.
Okay.
I get like that far, and then I see her like it look venomous, and then I continue it and turn it into that. I was like, it's a leaf.
It's a leaf. Could I find green ink somewhere?
Cause you're an elf, and I throw the pen across the room, and
I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it there.
It's a leaf because you're an elf.
Half elf.
If you run your fingers through your hair and then smudge her forehead, there's a damp little green spot right there.
Simba.
so I'm gonna go inspect what she did to my face.
You find something relatively mirror polished, and Kyle, what did you try and draw on his face?
Oh man.
You've got raccoon eyes right now, Moses.
What are those like super kawaii faces with the big eyes and then like the big smile with the eyebrows and it's creepy. You know, where's the pencil thing?
You just click the paintbrush, sweetie.
All right,
In freehand?
Yeah.
Oh, so like one of these numbers, like
Ball, you're going around the morning duties of getting breakfast ready for everyone, and you notice
there's like a sparkle up here,
the half elf and the
sparkle down here. That's what it looks like.
you notice the half elf and a human just
Honestly,
kind of getting into a bit of a spat and slapping each other's hands a bunch. And what did you draw on my face? Well, what did you draw on my face?
A leaf. It's a leaf.
I drew a happy face on your happy face.
Okay.
It is totally not a griff testicle.
I go outside and dunk my face into the wash basin and just go.
All right. So
Yeah, I guess I should watch my face.
yeah, so you guys are getting about doing your morning hijinks and stuff.
Hijinks and hygiene.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cedric,
Baths. Is there like a real bath place, like a place to bathe?
there is a communal bathroom in the communes, but it's not really that nice. If you want like a good bath, it'd probably really be useful to go down to just Havensholdt and just rent a room for an hour and take a nice bath with your own kind of copper tub and things like that.
I'm able to get clean.
Yeah, Jethro's fine. Jethro gets to kind of soak off a good chunk of the hangover in the tub.
I'm not hungover, it doesn't matter.
All right, so Cedric, you make it up to the alchemy lab, and you find Yama. Actually, he's wide awake. No sign he actually ever slept.
One day that'll be me. One day I won't have to
Is there any
sleep.
race option? Moses?
Anyway, so he's
No, you just gotta click it and then delete it.
he's going to kind of look up from whatever book he's pouring through at the time to kind of give you a raise an eyebrow in your direction. And he's going to return back to his books while writing. He's going to say, the prodigal son returns to maybe do his job.
Should we have the previous discussion, or can this just sort of be the stand-in for that?
This can go ahead and be the stand-in for that.
Okay.
Because I didn't have anything for him to particularly present you with in this conversation aside from what you wanted to converse about. So this will work out both ways.
I can't. No, you'll have to refresh my memory briefly. Did I end up signing I did sign up. No, I didn't.
You never
end
did.
Up signing a contract.
He confronted you about it. Then you sabotaged him. And he spent the remainder of the time. This is actually your first time talking to him.
I didn't sabotage him.
The Skinwalker did. Do. So
I didn't do nothing.
Yeah, so this is really your first time with conversing with him since you saw him vomit blood and pass out when you guys were being attacked by griffs.
Fun times.
You know he knows that you're magical. It's actually now there's a few other people that know as well. But he also knows how you feel about it, and you know how he feels about it. He wants nothing more than to turn you over to Havens and have you as some kind of apprentice that Havens can use you as some kind of tool or asset of war. That's what he feels. He feels like it's your duty to use your gifts to their greatest in this, fashion.
I don't feel like he's necessarily wrong.
That shows growth of character, because whenever you last talked, you were completely the opposite way.
Well, I mean, like, he's not going to do it, but he sees where he's coming from.
From the way Havens talked about you, from the way the underhanded remarks that Yama has made thus far, you, with your limited social knowledge, believe that, yeah, you're right. They know. He definitely, Yama definitely knows, but maybe hasn't overtly said it, or that Havens isn't really overtly pushing you towards anything. I mean, that's what you've kind of gotten the feel for so far. So you feel that he hasn't told anybody, but he definitely, has a very strong opinion about your skill set.
Yeah.
And so he woke up from his coma, and lo and behold, the person who told him that he would want nothing like more than to leave this life of magic behind and not help the valley has
I never said that.
Well,
you're taking it way out of context. In fact, I never even said it one way or another. I took the contract and I said I would think about it.
Okay.
And I never said another word.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair enough, because either way, it's the same thing. Anything less than a yes is, to Yama, it's, a waste of ability.
I think I said something along the lines of I started off this adventure in service to Jeffro, and I can't really change course until that service is seen to.
Yeah, but you do also have his little notebook with all of his beginner spells and things like that, as well as a copy of his contract.
Yeah.
And now he wakes up and now you're kind of his aide instead of his apprentice. So he kind of knows what path you tried to take, if that makes sense.
I think so. When did I really become his aide? I guess just since getting back.
No, it was actually negotiated before you left. Whiston did you a nice big buddy favor, and you don't remember that conversation in the infirmary with Lord Havens?
No.
And he kind of pitched it out there that you would like to study and help Yama.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I do remember that.
So you're Yama's aide now. Not apprentice, but aide. And you've been granted living quarters and something a little bit bigger than a broom closet in the alchemy lab.
Okay. And I said, okay, so whenever I walk in, sorry, my cat's going ballistic. She's got wild hair up her ass tonight.
Well, the way that she's been going after you might too.
Yeah, I must at this point. So let's see. Hello, Yama. I'm sorry I haven't come sooner.
I imagine you're quite occupied with all your friends and compatriots.
Not entirely, but I am glad to see that you're doing well, and I wanted to thank you for the use of this book as well.
He's gonna kind of glance over and glance at the book, and he's gonna say, "And you have my appreciation of your friend's ability to return me safely. The trip and challenges of were a bit too much for me for this once."
I has anyone told him exactly what happened with the Skinwalker?
Yes, he's been debriefed from Havens because you guys
Okay.
told him
8
everything.
more pages to go.
Okay.
Or like 20
I heard
something.
about what the thing did in my name, and I really hope that you don't hold that against me. I'm so sorry.
Well, you have.
He's gonna look at you and go back to writing, but he's gonna say, There's creatures out there, both wicked and cunning. Do not feel upset that they might have gotten the better of you. We are neither the apex predator or he's going to say we are neither the apex predator or lords of some of these dominions on which we tread. He's going to say there are challenges out there for all of us. He says don't particularly guilt yourself with what happens. What what happens when monsters make decisions in your stead.
Mm. And I've thought very closely about your offer, and I've decided that perhaps in time I will accept it. But for now, I know that if it were not for the message that I was able to send along, perhaps many more people might have died coming from the last Holdstead. And I feel like if I continue following Jeffro, God's help me, he could probably make use of some of these talents. And so I think until that time comes to a close, I should probably continue serving that way. But whenever I'm done, perhaps I'll return here.
He's gonna kind of stop whenever he kind of hears you mention use your talents to assist Jethro, and he's gonna kind of slowly rise from his chair, and you can tell there's a bit of concern on his face. It looks like scorn. Actually, it is scorn. It's Yama, and he's gonna say, "You are aware that you just openly professed to unlicensed wizardry. Jethro is neither noble nor citizen, nor set to inherit the nobility of his house. I cannot stop you, but I recommend great caution with proceeding with that course of action."
If that is what we've done is called, then yes, I guess I am guilty of that.
He's going to say, "What actions you take to ensure your safety in the field is of no concern to anyone, so long as those that find domain under Lord Havens were not harmed in your actions." He's going to say, "I do, however, ask if you've heard of a formality known as the Letter of Remote Sovereignty."
Have I?
You are kind of aware of it, only because the book kind of mentions a small clause of it in Yama's contract, but you've never actually seen one in its entirety. So you've heard of it, but you haven't seen one.
I say as much.
He's going to kind of fill you in that a letter of remote sovereignty is when a liege lends those in his direct service out to the aid of another, be it on loan, lease, personal gain, sabbatical. He's going to say, but what this means is traditionally the arcane student, and he's going to point at you, say enters contract with the Lord of the Liege of the region and procures his permission to operate for the purposes of another individual. He's going to say you are still Lord Haven. The liege would still be responsible for your actions, for your training, for your guidance, but the tasks that you would be delegated to would be appropriate of that of whoever you are is holding the letter of remote sovereignty. He's going to say perhaps that would be a nice way to introduce you to this lifestyle.
That is a good thought, but I have to wonder, if I were the owner of a blacksmithery, I would not license an apprentice and send him out into the world to brand hackery with my name. I would want to train him first. And there's no time for training, unfortunately. Although I would not wish it that way.
Yama's gonna nod a bit that, yeah, for once Cedric was actually pretty right. And he's gonna nod and he's gonna say, truth. I only mentioned that it exists, not that you would receive permission. But think of it this way. It would be a manner of which you could receive the training, the academia, the resources, the guidance to further marshal and control your powers. I have no overwhelming personal reason to mentor you in the arcane arts as simply an aid. An aid I almost did not need, but I approved for your sake only. He's going to say to turn down this offer would be to turn down the training of the Mephistopheles.
Would I have enough time to accomplish this training before Jeffro has to set out to his next goal?
Accomplish? No. I myself have barely finished the training, and I have been at this for a number of decades. It would be a good start. Perhaps you would feel more consistent with your spells around your friends. You'd feel that they would be in less danger from your arcane abilities.
I'm horrified every day that they have to be subject to my abilities. The thought that, this disc that I've conjured out of thin air just from reading a couple bits and dreaming about it once or twice is the only thing separating them from like a fall into a cavern. I wake up at night with nightmares about it. Of course I would be more comfortable, but it's all they have.
He's going to say, good, then I'm glad you recognize what the correct course is. And he's going to walk over to a bookshelf, and he's going to pull out this scroll. It's probably about 4 inches diameter. And he's going to kind of lay it on a table, roll it out about 1.5 feet, and you're going to recognize the very formal writing of what looks like a contract. And he's going to say, should you make the choice, it is here for you. And then he's going to take that, he's going to pick up his stuff, and his songbird's going to fly over, land upon his shoulder, and he's going to sweep past you with the billowing of his black robes, and he's going to say, my breakfast calls me. I will allow you to make your own decision. And he's going to walk out the door.
His breakfast calls. It talks.
Ah, crap. I never even got to ask him my
does.
questions.
Talking waffles.
It's so hard to ask this guy fucking
I'm a
questions.
waffle. I'm so delicious.
Well, you can catch him before he goes out the door real quick. What was he's at the door right now. He said his breakfast is calling him. What do you say?
Let's see.
The porridge will be cold just as long as you need it to be. I came here with a couple questions in mind that need immediate addressing.
She's going to kind of scoff a bit, and my breakfast was not going to be that gruel from the infirmary. Like, he kind of caught him. And
I'll unfurl that note that the kid gave me.
he's going to look upon it and make a perception.
Oh. Tablet's Wi-Fi card stopped working for some reasons. Now I have to get up. Gross. I got up. Okay. Oh, come on! Can I hero point that?
To add a +8.
Probably won't do much for me at this point to re-roll.
Yeah, you could if you want.
Okay, I'll try and re-roll. Why did I get roll a 20 on the things? Ugh. What?
Oh
Well, they have returned.
no! Kaiser, you are aware that you've done nothing but roll 20s and 1s this entire session.
I so much
Roll a
hatred.
19.
Can I use another hero point?
Oh
It really depends on how important you think this particular roll is.
Okay, fine. Fuck it. No, I don't see fucking anything. I'm too busy looking at my contract
You
and being upset. He's probably still like nervous and shaking from having to speak about something that he honestly cares about.
Yeah, you kind of hand out the paper to him. He takes it in a quick, snatches
and
it
like,
out of your hand, looks
And
at
being
it.
an assistant.
You notice just a face full. He looks at it like, he gives it some serious study at first, and in less than a second, his face immediately just sours, and he's going to give it back to you and say, "The scribblings of a kid are not worth delaying my meals."
There's scribblings of a kid that are copied on both of the swords that Jeffro and Winston have.
You appear quite rememberable. How do you say it? Quite conscientious of the markings of these blades.
Yes, well, I don't have much else to do I?
He's going to say that depends on what you sign on that piece of paper. He's going to say the elvish garble on this is hardly an indication of any lead of magical, magical or mundane. It's not even completely elvish. And
What
he's
is
gonna
it?
he's gonna give it back to you and say, so what is it? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
He kind of explains
Did you
it.
know it was
It's,
Elvish? Why, I know Elvish. Why didn't we?
it's
give
Elvish and something else.
Why
it's,
didn't we give it to the house?
it's
Because it's the rune that's on the blades. That's why we're concerned.
But I've never seen the blade, so I wouldn't know it was an Elvish. So like, why would?
You've seen the blades all the time.
mhm. The thing about the language, Katya, and that I've explained to you, is kind of is that it's written in Elvish characters, but it's written in Elvish characters the same way Russian is written in English characters. It is, as far as you guys can tell, Elvish gibberish,
So some other older language, probably,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Okay.
or something else.
Yeah, Yama is gonna remark that it's not a, he's gonna call it Elven gibberish. He's gonna say it's a dialect of which I am not familiar.
Okay, and one other matter before you go.
He's gonna kind of turn and pause, and his shoulders are gonna sink. He's gonna sigh, and he's gonna just kind of look back at you.
Is there any reason you can think of immediately why there could be an invisible voice following around an orc in this town?
An invisible voice following an orc.
I overheard him say the orc spoke to it kind of out of the corner of his mouth, and I heard it speak to him in return. Something about listening to a mystic and not to expose his gifts.
He's gonna kind of think, and within about 10 seconds of critical thought, you're gonna kind of see his eyes light up as he kind of. You said mystic. This orc, might he be a shrine soul?
Yes.
They are. Among their ranks, a select few are blessed with different gifts. Their nature changes and is unique from our own. It has its own school of study. Are you familiar with divine magics?
Am I?
You've...
Roll arcane?
Yeah, roll arcana. Nice.
What the fuck?
So you are, yes, familiar with the divine arcana, or the divine magics, but you don't really know any spells. You just know that they're graft. You don't weave the winds of magic into the effect you want. The winds of magic give you the effect that you want. It's almost as if some other entity beyond the pale compels this effect to happen. It's something that many scholars have tried to study, but its inherent mystical mystery means that they haven't successfully understood it. And until such time that scholars debunk the idea of higher beings, it appears that, yeah, there are. And that's where they draw their powers.
Okay.
You are familiar with that. He's gonna.
Okay. I recite like the textbook definition verbatim.
And he's actually gonna follow along and trail on the last few words and finish that textbook definition with you. And then he's gonna say,
Kindred souls.
and he's gonna say, good. Well, it appears that your friend, accomplice, associate, whomever, would be one of those gifted with this ability. Now, along with these forms of magics, it would not be uncommon for him to have some form of companion, as I do, and as such you do.
I see.
Perhaps this response you heard was merely his form of familiar.
I'd talk to my familiar too if Jeffro didn't keep sending it away.
Now I have no
I feel a little bit of hostility. You know?
They exist to serve, nothing else.
Just a bit.
Me.
He's gonna say, is your curiosity sated, or must my food remain cold?
I mean, you're a wizard. You just worry about that, dude.
Go on.
As you kind of say, like, go on, as in, like, either defeated or dismissive.
Defeated.
Okay.
Oh.
He's going to go back downstairs, leaving you alone in the workshop with the scroll.
He's gonna sit there and think for a while.
Okay, so we're going to pan back over. Jethro has arrived at the communes. The rest of you guys are partaking in whatever free breakfast they pass out. Because the Mystic is trying to... Well, give me a 1d10.
Okay.
Give me a 1d10. 10, excellent. Because the Mystic is really trying to show what the communes are capable of and how much they love and protect to serve the people, he's kind of splurged. Terry, you know this is a splurge. Everybody else, sausage on a stick from the communes.
Nice.
So they come back and they've just got boxes of sausages and sticks, and they just assemble it right there. You're like, one sausage on a cherry, and they're gonna pull a cherry stick out and stick it on. Here you go. And the other person's gonna come up and say hickory, and they pull out another sausage and stick it on the. And
I get it.
And so they're just gonna be passing out sausages on sticks. Whiston, Merry Christmas!
Yay!
The rain stopped, the sun's come out, it's relatively nice weather, it's about 65. The sun is shining, you can see further rainstorms in the distance, they won't be upon you for a few hours. You've got sausage on a stick, there's that fresh, damp smell, the cool air, and did I say a sausage on a stick? Because that's kind of the highlight of the morning so far.
I don't know. I feel like face drawing has been the highlight of the morning. Honestly.
You're walking around, and I think the face drawing's escalated to the point where you guys both have, like, whiteboards on your face.
Yeah, we're just, you know.
The kids think it's hilarious, and they start wanting you guys to draw on their faces, too.
Oh, I totally have, like, a face painting booth set up at the dining room table. Just
Yeah.
stood here.
I only
Kaya,
know how
as
to draw penises.
Whiston gets through half of one before Katya, like, slaps his hand and, like, no, don't draw that.
Yeah.
Jethro, you arrive to this fairly happy scene, and Katya, you actually kind of notice, despite his shy demeanor, in this line of kids wanting their face drawn on, is Tobin.
Oh,
He's just
Tobin,
kinda-
little baby Cedric?
Yeah, he's meekly waiting in line for his turn.
Okay, I'm going to say, oh, come here, little baby Cedric.
And you call him that, he's going to blush a little bit, but come over.
So cute. Oh my god, he's adorable. I'm going to ask him what he wants on his face.
He's going to say, he's going to think about it, and then he's He's actually gonna he's gonna say,
of the old ones.
Perfect.
he's gonna.
Everywhere.
You can tell he's struggling for words to describe what he wants, and he's gonna like, please, and he's gonna motion to like kind of a piece of parchment with the pen.
I give it to him.
He's gonna mark down what looks like Elvish gibberish. And
Elvis.
it's gibberish.
Do I recognize any of it? Like,
You
does any of it
recognize-
look familiar?
It's like you're giving
recognize-
him. It's like he wants like a badass like Chinese tattoo, but it just means like
This is like breakfast.
Yeah, it means garbage disposal or something like. Yeah, to basically like you guys, it is no more of a word than like this is.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
What am I doing? So that's what that means.
What's
What it looks like.
Yeah, pretty much to
Yeah,
you. You
like-
kind of look at it and you're like, "What the fuck is this
I'm
shit?"
gonna ask him if he knows what it means.
He's gonna nod. Yeah.
Well, what does it mean? I'm not gonna put it on your face if you don't tell me what it means. I could be putting a bad word on your face.
And he's gonna ask for the pen and paper again.
Okay. I give it to him.
And give me just.
I'll be looking over his shoulder while this is happening. Because this is interesting to me.
Face painting.
No, the friggin' rune shit.
Yeah, Jethro recognizes it from the rune.
Yep.
Wyston, if you're paying attention, you recognize the rune as well.
hey, that
No, quiet. Just don't speak.
All right.
Let him draw.
Okay, so he's gonna take actually kind of like a few minutes with it, and he's going to he's gonna give it back to you, and what you see is a circle. He's circled it like 20 times. It's a very thick border circle. And inside of it are what are appearing to be faces of different caricatures of different emotions. What look like small, wavy, flimsy, breezy forms wafting off of these faces. And he's gonna give that back to you, and that's what you see. You see one face that's happy, one face that looks angry, one face that looks troubled, one face that looks hopeful, surrounded by this very, very thick border in a circle. And you can kind of roughly tell that these are his approximations of what might be ghosts.
What might be ghosts?
What a kid would assume ghosts are.
Okay, I want to ask him where he's seen this before, like why he wants this specifically on his face.
He says he's gonna kind of look sheepishly, because now you're kind of like grilling him about something, and he's gonna be like, "It's in my dreams."
Okay,
It's the chosen one.
all right.
as long as it's this guy, not me.
Jeez.
Alright.
Well, what? Yes, perfect. I love it.
He's gonna like kind of get excited and pipe up. So you can do it? Will you do it?
I can. How big is it?
You can make it fit on his cheek.
Make it fit on his cheek. Yeah, I'll do it. Whatever, it's fine.
Okay. Kaya starts sketching this rune on the kid, and kind of leaves you guys with a piece of paper with the rune on it.
Yeah,
and
I'm
this
gonna
symbol.
just like slide this over to the paper over to Jethro and be like, have that.
Jethro, you recognize the rune from your sword almost instantly, and you kind of see the circle with the different emotions in it.
It'll make sense to me, but I'm going to be like, huh. Arch my eyebrow at it, fold it up, and shove it in my back pocket.
Wyston, you don't get to see it. Too bad.
Oh,
Well, it's on
I'll,
the kid's. It's on the kid's face. So
I'll
like
look at Weston and said,
right there.
got a little out of control last night.
yeah,
Well,
you did.
A bit. A bit.
I say anything weird?
Trying to remember. You said I was a good guy, which is pretty weird. Something about John's. But I don't really remember.
If you want, you can make an intelligence roll to see if you do remember.
Oh, I remember,
Hmm.
but I don't know about Winston.
You know,
He was pretty trash too.
well,
Jethro's
that's what I'm saying.
going to-
Winston can attempt to remember.
Oh, okay.
Jethro's going to try to look relieved.
Intelligence is a -1.
I'm smart.
That's not bad
13.
though.
You, yeah, that was about as much of it as you do remember. John's something, and then I remember your head went bang, and it was hilarious.
You almost fell in the water too.
Are there more kids in line, or can I just
He was the last one
little
in
baby
line.
Cedric and ask him how long he's been having these dreams and stuff?
He was the last kid in line. The other kids go running outside.
Yeah, they do. Bye.
There's gonna be some mothers out there and be like, "What is on your face?" And you're gonna hear some fussing and probably about 5 minutes later you're gonna hear "Oh," as somebody presumably got told to take a bath. And you
So can I just sit with this kid and ask him how long he's been having these dreams and
yeah,
all that-
he's gonna say he's gonna kind of shrug and do that little swaying back and forth that kids do when they don't really know how to answer something. He's gonna say a while.
a while?
Can I?
How old is this kid? 6, 7,
He's about
10?
He's about 7, 8ish.
8-ish? Okay. Have you talked to anybody about these dreams? What kind of dreams are they?
Scary ones.
Scary ones? Did you tell somebody about your dreams?
He's gonna shake his head no.
Well, why not?
Because they're scary. I don't have anybody to help.
Oh, it's so sad. My insides are sad. Well, what about Cedric? He's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk to Cedric?
I can.
I think he'd be able to help you.
You
He's
think?
very cool. He's very cool.
Hmm.
We should go find him. We're
Cedric,
gonna go find Cedric.
are you heading back to the communes after leaving the
Be
castle?
available.
Yeah, I think he would.
Okay. So you take a little bit. I guess you can just tell me your decision later. Or you can tell me and keep it private from the
I'm
group.
telling you aside.
Okay.
I'll hand off the piece of paper to Kai and say give that to Cedric when you get there.
Well, Cedric is actually arriving around this time.
It's on his face.
Never mind.
I drew it on his face. It's literally on his cheek.
Yeah, Cedric's coming back around this time.
Right there.
Cedric, you see a bunch of kids playing around outside. One of them scrubbing his face. There's a mother with her sleeves rolled up, hands on hips, watching this kid scrub his face.
Is that the one I colored on?
I get back. Yeah, this looks about right.
Yeah, there's kids with drawings all over their face.
That's how I
and
left you.
You come in. You come in, and immediately to your left of the door is a shrine soul, and he's like, "Hickory, cherry, or oak?"
Hickory, please.
And there you go. There you go. And he's gonna give you a sausage on a stick on hickory.
Oh, thank you.
He's gonna say, "Fortune smiled upon us today. Thanks for everybody." And he's gonna. He's just gonna be like this. He's really, really digging this charity thing. He's just got this big stupid grin. You can't really tell if it's being fake, but this dude is genuinely happy that he's giving sausages out on sticks.
Huh. All right. Well, you can't blame a man for doing what he loves.
Yep.
I'm gonna go try and find my kid.
Yep. Easily enough, you find in a corner of the main courtyard, not courtyard, but the main little plaza, interior plaza, that you see Jethro Whiston. Jethro stands out. He's super huge, stands over everybody. He's actually the only one with the weapon on him. Whiston hanging out, talking to Jethro, and you see Katya actually talking to Tobin. Ball, you have finished up your chores around this time and decided, there's no more dishes or water canteens to kind of give out. So you're kind of free to do your business now as well.
All right. I head over to the group, really.
Okay. So Ball approaches around the same time that Cedric does as well.
Okay. Well, I'll locate my kid. Is he around here?
Yep, Katya is holding him by the hand.
Oh.
He's gonna kind of turn, like Katya's gonna point you out. You're gonna see Tobin turn, and he's gonna you're gonna see one of some of his hair kind of pushed up over his ear, and you're gonna see that rune just painted on his cheek.
Huh. Okay. I'll trot on over, and I did remember that he said something about Elvish, and Katya is probably my best resource here, and I'll see her and I'll see the rune, and I seem to perk up, and I'm like, oh, well, huh, Katya.
Yeah, we figured out what the rune had to do with. This is what it is. Apparently, he's been having really, really, really scary dreams about it. I told him to talk to you. You seem to be his favorite.
Oh, well, if he's, I mean, if they're scary dreams, then why did you paint it on his cheek?
I don't know, because he wanted it on his cheek.
I guess there's something to be learned about owning it here.
Yeah. Lessons and all that.
Bless him. Do you know anything about what that rune means?
I do not. Would I?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't have very high-
You are aware it's Elvish. What kind of crazy dialect, ancient dialects? What kind of symbolic meaning it might have is lost upon you.
Okay.
But you can identify each character of it. Like you can be like, A, Z, Q.
Yeah.
T.
This is just letters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I repeat every single letter that you typed right there. L, J, K, A, all that. Right there.
Huh.
I was like, this is what it spells.
Okay.
This is apparently what it means.
Yeah, in common, it has no direct translation, even
Yeah.
letter for letter.
Well, that doesn't make much sense.
So,
Ace. Yeah. Oh well. I'll continue looking into it, I suppose. How have you been, Tobin?
He's gonna look probably the happiest you've seen him in a long time, actually ever. And he's gonna say, good, I had the sausage, and then I got my face painted.
Oh, that's great, buddy.
Mm-hmm. And he's gonna give like this big old toothy grin. You're gonna notice like some of them are crooked, one of them's loose. Just a bunch of kid teeth.
Bunch of kid teeth. And he'll grin. He says, well, I guess I'll be around for a while now, so. And he'll just sort of settle in. Not really too much to say.
Was that foreshadowing? You're gonna be around for a while?
Maybe I'll just be around a while.
No, I gotta read into everything. Try to find the ulterior motives.
Yeah, Cedric had a meeting with Yama. He comes back and he does not look overly happy, I would imagine.
No, probably not.
Yeah, so, Jethro, I believe you had something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I was just going to talk to Jethro about possibly going through the whole thing.
You were talking to Jeffro?
I'm sorry, talking to Winston about going through the journal. Asking for help. We got to figure out that shit and stuff.
Okay.
My journal, my mom's journal.
Yeah, ask him about how things are going.
It's a bunch of writing of a teenage girl. I haven't found anything super interesting yet.
That sucks.
You've probably gone through the first 15 pages in pretty good detail and haven't found really anything interesting.
That sucks.
I'm wearing a tie with my shirt untucked.
I'm gonna go check on the people of Braymore and the people of Ivers that we stole with them and all that kind of thing.
Okay, you turn and look around the interior plaza and you see them all.
Yep, I'll go and talk to them. Try to be nice, upstanding gentlemen.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
You go and talk to a few of the elders that are generally hanging tight around the area, and And as you kind of do, you kind of approach one couple, and they're going to kind of look up at you. You recognize them from, they're actually going to be from Iverstead. And they're going to kind of look up at you and say, morning, and greet you.
I'll greet him.
Morning and greet you.
I'll greet him back. Say what it is.
Nothing much, homie. But they're gonna kind of like look around and be like, you can tell that they're slightly relieved about their position. They certainly feel better to be in Havensholdt than Iverstead right now. But they're gonna look around and they're gonna say like, it's a damn shame, isn't it? And they're gonna be like referencing all the people around you.
These are trying times.
Drone is an unforgiving place.
Drones.
So they're gonna look around and say, we've been through many a storm, young man, but nary many like this.
If you don't mind me asking, why did you decide to leave Ivers specifically?
That you can tell these people have probably been around for most of their life during Ivers, Roderick Ivers' dad. So Lorella's dad. You can tell that they lived most of their life during his rule, and they're gonna say, that young and Ivers cares only about two things: his ego and his image. If it doesn't make him look good, forget it. And they're going to kind of look with a bit of disdain. They're going to say, I remember when that stead was about the people, loving your neighbor. And he's going to say, we don't feel that is the atmosphere up there. We're also old, and any form of hustled trip or chase on our tail would run us down. And, as he kind of says, like, we're old, we'd get run down, kind of brings up a little bit of those fresh memories about...
Don't want to pull a roomstead.
I'll say,
a roomy room.
And I'll ask him, and they're older, I say, do you happen to know the name Sion?
Seon.
Out of character, it was Seon. There you go.
Sion, sorry.
And they're going to kind of look at you, Cross, and say, kind of confused and say, Seon?
Yeah, Sion.
And they're going to kind of look at each other. It's an older male, older lady, and they're going to do a bit of the old person whispering and bickering. Is he the one who... That was her cousin? Wasn't she? No, but didn't they... No. Are you sure? No, that was her son. That was her son. No, it wasn't. Okay. And... they're kind of like look back at you and say, we've known many to come and go throughout our time in this realm. Seon's not necessarily one that stands out.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I said, so nothing? Nothing at all?
Iverstead has had its share of travelers past. A few of them eclectic, even. Direct names, none. But perhaps a window of time might help us recognize who might have been in the area around that era.
25 years ago? 26 years ago?
26 years ago? And they're going to kind of do some more old people bickering. And, that was...
Yeah.
That was when...
No.
That was right before... And then the Morella? Yeah? No. That's that church girl you're thinking of. And he's going to say, and then she got fat, and that one had a baby. And then they're going to kind of like look back at you, and they're going to say, there was... the wife is gonna be like, yes, there was. I remember it because I made them blueberry muffins, and I remember they're the best blueberry muffins I ever made. And the husband's gonna be like, no, they were walnut muffins. And
I
she's
feel
gonna,
like on the inside, Jake is actually an old woman because he plays them really well.
I'll be like,
no, it's
Point.
just that my mom and my grandma are like old woman incarnate, and that like I can't have a conversation with my grandma that I enjoy because I'm like, well, because it's like, I'll be like, hey, grandma, I got a promotion at work, and she'd be like, oh, that's nice, honey. Today I got stuck in traffic, and I'm just like, ugh. Yeah, so
I feel you.
my mom calls me to bitch about her mom, so
right.
anyway, so they're gonna kind of get in like a bit of an argument over walnut or fucking blueberry muffins.
And I'll just kind of like try to redirect them, like, okay. What you were saying?
Yes, there was a garrison patrol that was in the area at the time. And the husband's gonna like say that to her. He's gonna say, and I don't care what the hell you made them. You could only make me blueberry muffins like that.
Well, you were saying?
Yes, there was a garrison patrol in the area. We don't know what they were doing. They just came, they stayed for 3 or 4 nights. They left. We don't poke around in their business. We prefer to mind our own. We offered them a bit of our great fabled Iverstedian hospitality. And he's going to kind of give like a sly look at his wife, and she's going to be like, well, they're strapping young men. And then he's gonna say, but that was it. They came, they stayed, they minded their business, they left. We really didn't see anyone else again. He's gonna say, and it was like it wasn't long after until there was the whole hubbub.
The hubbub. I'm assuming is Whiston with me for this?
I'm in the same area. I don't think I'm talking to the same people you're talking to.
Right. I'll kind of call you over a little bit.
So,
yeah, what's up?
Winston, you catch that Jethro shoots you the come over here nod. And as you kind of
All
come
right,
over...
I'm sorry, buddy. I can't finish this right now. Get Katya to finish it. And I point the kid over to the elf and the half-drawn dick on his forehead.
He comes over and he's gonna kind of like the kid's gonna sketch like a rudimentary, like really shitty, crude imitation of the rune that Tobin's wearing on his cheek. Like he wants something cool like that too. Like he wants a knockoff Chinese character tattoo as well. And Winston was just like, "Yeah, buddy, yeah, absolutely, ballsack."
Nice.
That makes you a terrible person, right?
It's like, fucking, I don't know Elvish. I don't even know Orcish.
Yeah.
What's
I
a
thought
chode?
I was spelling my name on his head in Orcish.
Chode.
And so, but you catch the come over here from Jethro.
Mhm.
Cool.
So, and they're gonna be like, yes, the hubbub with the young. It was his sister. No, that was the blonde-haired one. No, that
Okay.
was. And they're gonna go and they're gonna like moff.
Yeah, and I'll just kind of I'll redirect them again.
All right, you have to keep like refocusing their conversation.
Yeah.
And they're gonna say yes with the Roderick's sister, the pleasant young lady.
Lorella.
Yes, Lorella. I haven't seen her since then.
And do you know any more about the garrison troop that came through? Like who she was, smitten with, so to speak, or?
Well, no one particularly knew. It was like at this point you're kind of like bringing up the shame of his hold, and he's gonna kind of be like a little defensive about it, and he's
Right.
kind of like, well, no one really said it was one of them, and the wife is gonna be like, I would have, and And he's going to be like, "Oh, these young ladies are smitten with the adventuring types. No offense." He's going to kind of wave like a little old person swatting hand at you guys.
Yeah, I can't stand the adventuring types myself. And I say that completely honestly.
And he's going to say, but it really wasn't too much after that. She had left our hold, and we didn't care what her well-being was. We just wanted to live past the shame that one in the elder family would make such a disgraceful decision.
Well, you know, in places such as these, family's important.
Indeed.
And, you know, my compatriot here, the one that helped you got, that kind of rallied the troops, and I'll kind of nod over to Weston, kind of rallied the troops to get you guys out of harm's way. He's trying to find his family, and I was just hoping you guys could issue us some, little bit of help. I understand if you can't, though.
They're going to say,
Moses.
the memory is scarce from the situation when you
so long.
are as old and experienced as, so he's going to like kind of stroke his salt and pepper hair, and he's going to, as experienced as us. We thank your friend for all of his wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guide and bravery, and we think, you know, he is a good representative of the Airstead. You're proud to have him as a member of your hold.
And they know who he is, right?
No.
And now I'll actually.
And Winston's just like,
I'm not gonna do it. You're not gonna let me do it.
no, I'll just cough, and then you can say whatever you were gonna say.
I'll be like, Winston, why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, and they're both gonna kind of like look at you.
And I'll stick my arm out for the forearm clasp.
Yep, they're the gentleman's gonna reach up for, you know, he's gonna try his best. It's weak grip, but you know, you really have to lean in more for him to do it. He can't really get up.
Yeah, and I just say, and then I say, Wyston Green, son of Lorella Ivers.
His jaw is just gonna drop, and the old lady is gonna like swoon, and oh,
I'm
and
waiting for this.
One of them, I'll catch whichever one's about to fall.
you know, she just kind of like, they're both kind of crammed into one little love seat, so she doesn't go anywhere.
Okay.
She's just gonna like put her hand to her head and make a little bit of drama about it, and the guy's hand's gonna shake. His grip, like what little there was, disappears completely, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, well, excuse me, you, Lorella should be proud."
Well, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know if we can be of further help. We'll attempt to recollect the best we can.
Good, that made me happy. You know, push further.
So, Seon came in with the garrison guys.
They
We gathered so far.
you don't recognize that. They never recognized the specific name, but they
Yay.
recognized in that time there was a garrison patrol that came through shortly before the hubbub.
Yeah, but that name triggered them to think of that garrison patrol.
What triggered them to think was you guys gave them a time frame.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know what the funny part is? I feel like they were looking for a skinwalker come 25 years ago when we were talking to Ishel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
And-
probably the garrison patrol.
Yeah.
I know Johns was there. I know Ishel was there. I know Havens was there. I know Kimos. So, that's a lead.
Yeah.
You guys do indeed remember that whenever you mentioned a skinwalker to any of those persons, they immediately elicited a response of great disgust, and I'm hoping to never see them again. You don't necessarily know that it was 25 years ago, except for Ishel saying yes. The other guys just kind of mentioned that they hope to never see one again.
Right.
So Ishel, yes, you've pegged for 25 years ago. he was about to tell you a story of something similar. But everybody else just, they hate skinwalkers with a passion. Don't really know why.
So you're going to have to lean in on Ishel, probably.
Yeah, but I think that's a good
point,
side RP.
Although I will check in on if they've arrived or not. They should have made it back or something.
Um. Do.
Also, I'm probably gonna head out soon.
Okay.
It's not-
Yeah, I've got
Like,
to
Next couple
go
minutes.
out of
Sure.
state tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we ran a little long. I was expecting a few people to kind of say they had to go earlier. But as far as the session goes, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Liked everything so far. Stick around if you want to do a little bit more. Kaiser, I kind of let everybody else know. I have a bounty out right now. If you any character art, like I showed you the Twitch thing, right? So if you do any kind of character art, any kind of story writing, like you can write a short story about Cedric, feel free to go nuts with it. I love reading these things.
Yeah, sure.
If you can find me a good bunch of royalty-free background music that I can use, so that way we can add music to the stream that won't get censored.
Ooh,
Or if you, I've got this overlay as a raw image, but I'm not that good with Photoshop. So if somebody wants to take a crack at that, I'm offering hero points for any of that.
yeah, sure.
So the better I make it look, apparently people are willing to listen. So
Yeah.
the more art I have, the more things like that we have, the more stories we have, the more anybody else viewing might kind of get a little bit more enjoyment purpose out of it. At least not of all for us.
But then I know people are listening to me.
Yeah,
Hello,
That's the
adoring
problem.
public.
yeah. So
Greetings, listeners.
yeah, I'm not really hoping for it to get popular. I'm actually did all this work so that way the YouTube video, you can actually see what's going on because I've got an observer in Roll20. And I export all
I'm
this
so
to YouTube.
sorry.
Yeah, I export all this to YouTube for posterity's sake. And this will allow me to show the player's view who's talking and everything like that. So that way if we watch it later, you can kind of see what's going on. Whereas before I just had a slideshow of images and it was all verbal only, which really kind of omitted a lot of the details.
Do a podcast, make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Give me
we'll
a
see.
cut, man.
We'll see. Anyways, so
You know,
No,
that's,
we should totally podcast the Weeaboo Bullshit RPG.
well, I mean, I've already figured out how to use the stream. If I just get a slightly different, equally weeaboo background, I'll be happy to throw it all together and stream it.
Oh hell yeah! That needs to like show up on like Geek and Sundry or some shit. A Weeaboo Bullshit RPG. Come on. That could be a great podcast. You just call it Weeaboo Bullshit, the RPG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those
Hey, guys.
characters look so stereotypical. I'm pretty sure, like, you could just Google that. Like, if you Googled one of their portraits, like, 50 anime characters would pop up.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Yeah, it's excellent. I like it.
All right.
Yep.
I'll talk to you guys later.
See you guys.
Will you
Later.
in my call? Yeah. And then shut my computer down.
Yeah.
And then put these.
Bye, Terry. Jerry,
Yep.
you gonna do some RP stuff? You gonna stay around, or you going to bed?
I think I'm actually good for right now.
Yeah.
So, peace out, guys.
Gotcha.
Later.
Kane, did you have anything you wanted to continue with?
I think I'll be okay.
I was about to say, you guys pretty much press these old folks for what they know about the era.
Yeah.
And there's obviously a few things we need to get to in the next session as well.
Right. No, this was definitely a time for everybody to kind of, get some plot hooks going.
Yeah. I mean, you guys spent a lot of time. I'm going to actually